And greetings, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I am Monster to Mermaid. This is actually a redo of yesterday. Yesterday, I was supposed to be doing a tour of Mni Island, and it did not record. It did not stream. So there was only 42 minutes of a 4-hour stream. And so because of that, and because I promised Zaph that I was going to do this, I am actually doing a redo of the tour because it didn't record it. There wasn't anything there. So the 8 of you, the 8 people who actually saw yesterday's thing, you just saw your own personal version of the world because it doesn't exist anymore. Oi, Mr. Villager, como está você? And you know, it's interesting because you didn't miss anything, Mr. Villager. So you don't have to, you never have to apologize because that's, it apparently you needed to be here for this. So, so it made sure that you were because I'm going to do the whole thing over. So I'm going to change my view. I'm starting at the little home away from home, which is actually not. This is actually where I was raised in this city, which is how I knew about this island and is the reason that I brought the 4 of the survivors. Everyone survived, but not everyone wants to go with a particular mermaid. Some want to just go home and the mermaids put them on a ship so that they can go home, or put them on an island so they can be found so they can go home. But there are some who don't actually want to go home. And the ones who don't want to go home are usually taken by other mermaids to places that no one knows about. And those people can start their life over. And 4 of those people came with me to Mni Island from this ship right here. And because we're underwater and it's dark, and because for some reason torches and all of that aren't working the same anymore, since I had to update because of the crash, and because of the crash, I am doing a tour of Mni Island. So this is what's going on. And I'm glad you are fine, Mr. Villager. And it's so nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here. And I always enjoy when you're in chat. So no worries. You never have to apologize for anything. So here we are. This was the boat that sank. This was the first ship that sank in this area, and so this was my one of my first experiences with land people, and I've had lots of experiences with land people over the years, but this was the first time that it happened near where I was raised. I was not raised in the capital, which is the city, and why don't I swim while I'm telling this part of it. I was not raised in the capital where Seabridge is. Oh, that's interesting. Cancel. I was not raised in the capital where Seabridge is. I was actually raised here in this smaller city, which happens sometimes that people are raised in different areas than where they end up. And even though I was supposed to end up in the capital, I did not. You would like to ask 15 seconds. Oh, you have bad news. Ooh. All right. Let's come here for a second. I'm going to stand here for just a moment on this part right here. So Mr. Villager has asked, you've had a tragedy 3 real world days ago, a giant tragedy, real life. All right, Mr. Villager, tell me. And yes, I'll be happy to give you that. What happened? So I'm going to find out in just a moment. Unless he's not going to tell me. And if it's something private, you actually don't have to tell me. I'll be happy to give you 15 seconds of silence if you don't want to tell me about it. And just say so, and I'll just give that to you. And so this is probably one of the beautiful places. You had a raid, and the worst part was it was from a friend. Oh. Real life 3 days ago. Mr. Villager is saying that. Zaph, it's so nice to see you. Unfortunately, no. Yikes. Oh, Mr. Villager. Yow. I can't even imagine how you feel. Man. Oh, I am so sorry to hear that. Oh, that is heartbreaking. I am sorry, Mr. Villager. Absolutely. Zaph, welcome. I'm about to give Mr. Villager 15 seconds of silence for his village that was attacked, and he lost so many people. And I will happily look at the candles. We have all these sea pickles here, and we're going to say that those are candles. Your town disappeared from the map. Wow. Oh, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. Raiders came in, and it was a friend. Wow. And completely destroyed your village. Wow. I don't even know how I would feel about that. Oh my gosh. That is so here we go. Ready? This is for Mr. Villager. Mr. Villager has asked for 15 seconds of silence, so that's what we're going to do right now. And I'm going to start just a second. I'm going to start right now. Okay. One of the children is missing. I bet they took the child as a part of the raid. That happens a lot with raids, that kids get taken. Oh, I'm really sorry. I am so sorry for your loss. I definitely am. Okay. Okay, so Zaph, you had a dentist today? Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys, good gracious. Oh, Zaph, I hope it wasn't too bad, Zaph. You're welcome. You're welcome. Donata, Mr. Villager, Donata. Zaph, I hope it wasn't too terrible. Your dentist visit, I hope that they were able to help you, and I hope it wasn't too painful for you. Oh my goodness, guys. Goodness sakes. So, Zaph, you came in a little bit late, so I was explaining to everybody that just for you, I am doing a tour of Mni Island. And Zaph, I did this tour yesterday, and it didn't record. It only recorded 40 minutes of a 4-hour tour. It recorded 40 minutes. Yikes! A tooth out and 3 stitches. Whoa! Yeah, that's not fun. So, do you have something to kill the pain? And is that what's going on right now? Oh, guys, jeez. So, Zaph, what I was explaining was that because of you, you had requested it, so I am dedicating this tour to you. But your timing is really interesting because I had that crash of Mni Island and I actually thought I had lost it. It took Minecolonies team actually helping me, and they actually were able to help Vincentius Primus enough that he was able to restore it. But this is the way it was restored. It's on a separate server, on the CurseForge server now, instead of being on the server that the others are on, and it had to be updated. And that update actually caused some things to go away, and 2 of the buildings were actually lost as a part of it. And the way they were lost is that they can't be used as buildings anymore. And so that is one of the things. So, Zaph, I appreciate the fact that, yeah, the fact that that has happened. He's sleeping in the laundry. Aww. Okay. All right. So here we go, guys. I'm going to start. So I was explaining that mermaids, the mermaid nation of Tana, when there is a shipwreck, especially if we're the cause. So sometimes ships travel through our cities, and if they don't have the right map, they hit our coral cities, and the coral rips out the bottoms of boats and they sink. Now, mermaids always rescue everybody, including the captain. The captain never wants to go back because he's supposed to go down with the ship. And sometimes some of the people don't want to go back either. And so when they don't want to go back, some mermaids will take them to islands that nobody knows about, that nobody lives on, and they can start their lives over. So everyone where they were thinks that the ship went down and everyone was lost, or that the ship went down and the people who wanted to go back say, the mermaids say, don't tell them that you were rescued by mermaids or they'll think you're crazy and it'll hurt your life. So just tell them that you made it to shore and the others were lost. And so that is exactly what happens, what happened with the ship. 4 of the people wanted to come to the island that I wanted to take them to, and that island was Mni Island, which was near where I was raised. It's nighttime now. I've probably been swimming around, but look, there's Zaph's ship. Zaph's ship is right over there. We're going to swim over to Zaph's ship because I think we're going to spend the night. So yesterday, when I did it, I was doing it sort of as a historical tour, and that's the one that didn't get saved by YouTube. So today, I'm going to do this as a tour of the island. If history comes into it, that'll be different, but it'll be okay. You think of the negative effect against him? Ah, yeah. So let's come here. This is Zaph's ship, and we're going to climb aboard, and we're going to go to sleep here for the night, right here. And this is the Sapphire, and this is a perfect place to start. Except, do I remember, Zaph? We made a special bed for you down here, and your special bed has purple on it. Well, I'm not going to sleep in your bed. I'm going to sleep in this bed right here, right next to your bed. And so here we are, and it is morning. So there's Zaph's special bed with the purple on it, and I'm going to change my view right now. This is Zaph's ship, and we're going to go upstairs to Zaph's captain's quarters. Remember this, Zaph? Remember when we were fixing this and gave you the seat and we changed the desk and we gave you those chairs? Yeah. So yeah. So this will be really nice. Thank you. It was almost Mr. Villager is explaining in chat what happened to his colony, his little colony that he had in his world, and that was attacked by a friend. Actually, it sounds like one of those things where someone attacked and they didn't realize the damage that they were going to be doing. So this is Mni Island's docks. This is the Mni Island docks here, and this is Tana out here, the ocean of the mermaids. So when this settlement on the island got started, probably this time, I'm reading chat, probably this time after the word about our fall, now every villager or town that was in contact with his town now knows about the threat and is now getting ready for any problem. Okay. So at least your town won't have died in vain. They will actually, their deaths will actually be a warning for other towns to be prepared, so that the same thing doesn't happen to them. And I agree. I hope that happens, and I hope that's successful. So this dock is a pretty big dock. This is where everything comes in for the city. What we're seeing out there is Zaph's ship is headed back out to sea. These two ships are in the dock. And Mr. Villager, I need you actually to name one of these two ships. The steampunk is already named, the airship, but this ship right here, this ship isn't named, and this ship over here is not named. So one of these times, oh, okay. So one of these times, YouTube will fix full screen to appear so the chat will be there. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice, but that's not there yet. I know. So, let's go here. Yeah. So yeah, you can pick one or the other of these two ships and you can name it. And that is the thing. I can give you a tour of these ships for a second. Let's go up on the gangplank for this ship and let's go in. So this is one of the ships. This ship is a spruce ship. And I'm just going to go up to the bird's nest for a minute so you can see the whole ship. And we'll see how this is. Yeah, already fix it. Oh, good. Oh, good. That's good. So right here, you have, this is the bird nest for the ship. And you're looking out. It's got a nice view. And then let's come down and let's look at the decks underneath. Let's look at the captain's quarters in here and see if you like this one. This is the captain's quarters right here, and these captain's quarters have a little place for the captain to sleep, and it's pretty dark. And then down below is where your crew is. Your crew is sleeping in these beds right here. And then you have there's things back here, storage, and these are storage also in this area. So that's one ship. And I'll show you the other ship. Let's get off this ship. We'll come down the gangplank again right here, and we'll go across to the other ship, and you can choose which one you would like. So the other ship is a dark oak ship, And let's see. And let's come up here. Let's go here. And this is the Dark Oaks ship, and it's a little different in its design, and I'll show you the captain's quarters here. I haven't really done too much with this, but this is an interesting ship. It's got a couple doors that the captain can use, and he can go out, they can go out and look at the ship and see things going on, but they have some privacy in this area. And look at this, they can come up here to here, and isn't that really cool? And so they can come up like that, or they can use, is there anything here? No, there isn't. So in order to steer this ship, they have to go through the captain's quarters right here. And then, so that's the captain's quarters. And then the downstairs for the ship, should I go up to the, let's go up to the bird's nest first. And let's look. And yeah, this is going to be a hard choice. It is. And this is what can be seen from this bird's nest. So Zaph's ship is the Sapphire, and that's the one out there that's headed away. And this ship is the airship Steampunk, and so that's the one over there. So whichever one you would like, let me show you the downstairs of this ship for a moment, and you can decide which one of these. And you don't have to make the decision right away. If you need some time to think about it, you can. Now there's a place down here where there's storage underneath, and then you have this whole section here where there's a lot of storage, and then the crew is sleeping in this area right here. And there is this is actually where the captain sleeps. This is the captain's quarters in this part right here. And you started to use Dark Oaks for your build. A big part of your buildings are actually use spruce, but you started using Dark Oak. Interesting. Okay. And let's see. Let's come around here and let's see where the exit is. Oh, we could use either exit. So those two doors lead to these stairs that go up. You're going to go with the spruce. Okay. You'll make gifts. One about the name and one about the main material. Okay. Okay, so this is the spruce one, and this is the one you're talking about. You want to name this ship. All right, and so on the Sapphire, let me see where we put the ship name. I'm going to go back out here and see where it is. And nope, it's not there. And where did we put the name? I thought we put the name on here. Didn't we put the name on here? I thought for sure we did. Well, that's okay. It's definitely the Sapphire. So, yeah, so you just tell me what the name is, and that'll be the name for this ship that's there now. Make two gifts, one about the name and one about the main material. Okay. Why spruce? Well, you built a house for another friend, Elias, some weeks ago. A small part of the house walls and the roof were made mainly of spruce. Okay. All right. So that's a good reason. And that's good. So this is Mni Island's main dock, and on this dock the ships come in, and then including the airship. And a tribute to the failed ones, you want to call the ship Immortalized? Ooh, I like that. Okay, so the name of this ship, I christen you Immortalized. I need a bottle of something. Let's see if we can find a good bottle that looks like something to christen with. Ooh, a bottle of enchanting. Yes, a bottle of enchanting will be perfect. So let's come here and let's get this bottle right here, and I'm going to put it in my hand. Here we go. And we're going to come up here on this and we're going to christen it. Ready? Christen, I christen you. Dun 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 dun. Immortalized. So there we go. Welcome. So now this ship will be called Immortalized, and Zaph's ship is the Sapphire. And so he helped you to kill Alan, to revenge the fallen. Ah, Elias did. Okay, cool. I understand. He deserves to have that, to know that. So yay! All right, it's nighttime, and we're just going to continue for a minute. I'm going to change my view. So I'm going to give us this view. So on the docks where the ships come in, we have another ship that is down below, and we're just going to go down and see it. And here is the submarine, and this is one of the subs from Seabridge, from the Sea City. And this is beautiful. So this is where the submarine comes up to the dock, and then this this cargo bay crane lifts the things up. And I think I've explained this before, but I will explain it again, that the people at Seabridge, along with the mermaids, found a way to enclose shipments in a special film that keeps them waterproof. And so the things that need to be waterproofed are wrapped in this film, and that film allows for them to be shipped in underwater, especially wood. And so that's a really good thing. So we also have one other ship here, and it's a river runner. And this ship belongs to Lucia. Lucia, Chris, and who is this? Alex. Lucia, Chris, and the reason I don't know his name is because he's a brand new fisher. Alex, and Alex, they're in partnership here, and this boat is theirs. Is it too dark? I think so. I think we should sleep, and then I'll do this in the daytime. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to sleep. I'm really close. See how close I am? I like this little home away from home here. So I'm going to go down here. We're going to get a sleeping bag, which I already had one on me. Good. And I'm going to take it out and use it for tonight. And we're just going to sleep right here. So there we go. So you founded a new village. So you would like to give wonderful news and turn these dark times a bit more bright, Mr. Villager is saying. After some traveling and some external contact suggestions, Mr. Villager has founded a new city called Adrios, or Adrios. And I like that name very much. I like it. All right, and so let's go back up. So we were just looking at the submarine, which is bringing a barge in with some shipment. And so our two docks couriers, and we'll go over and look, are Santino and Walter. And Santino and Walter have been here a long time, and these are their pavilions. Santino, I believe this is Santino here, I guessed right. And on the other side, this is Walter's courier shop right here. And both couriers manage all of the materials that come into this dock. And there's one of our other couriers right now. There's Caspian. So I always try to have on the dock, I always try to have a mechanic and a carpenter so that when the ships come in, there's somebody there to help them. So this is Marcos. Marcos is the second of the mechanics to have this shop. He's one of the kids. The original shop owner has moved to the Wolf's Head, and so that's what's going on now with him. And Marcos is living here and doing a really good job. We're going to open up her lunch counter. This is Lucia's fishery right here, and Lucia and Alex and Chris are the fishers who are fishing in this area. Oh, that was one of our couriers, Verraine. I'm not sure where Chris is this morning. It seems that Chris might have had the day off or something. Let me see if he's here. There's Marcos. Yep. Chris is apparently either not feeling well or has the day off. And actually, you're organizing an expedition near the coast. This is Mr. Villager in chat talking about his village. Soon, if possible, you're going to find a deep place, underwater research facility. Good for you guys. Cool. That sounds wonderful. So this is Marcos's mechanic shop right here, and downstairs here, Marcos actually has an area where he keeps some things that are important, and they are stored here. And is this not going to open? What's missing here? Did I take away something? I might have taken away a piece that was needed, but you can look in the window. I don't have the key. That's what it is. I don't have the key to this. So you can look in the window and you can see that that's what's being kept in this mechanic shop right here under lock and key, and he's not even letting me go in there and look at it. So, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Okay, so this is the mechanic shop, and then we're going to go out here, and this is the carpenter, and this is the docks carpenter, Caspian. Caspian loves acacia. And so he built his shop in acacia, and he always is asking all the builders to use acacia. So yeah, so this is interesting, and we'll see. And so yeah, well, you gave me the opportunity to name a ship. Why not I give you an opportunity to name an entire area? Ooh. Well, I'll have to think about that. I will. You mean where the coast is? You mean the coast? Where you're going to build the underwater research facility? Is that what you're talking about? Goodness sakes, what an honor. Thank you. Obrigado, Mr. Villager. And this is the main warehouse on the docks. And Verraine, Walter, and Jace are here right now. And this warehouse is pretty full. It's getting filled up. This is the second warehouse that has been on this location. The first warehouse was partially underwater, and what I mean by underwater was the main part of the shipping, the main part of the warehouse was underground, And for some reason, because of how close it was to the water, I think it wasn't working. Yes, Zaph is correct. Now we have Sapphire and we have Immortalized. Those are the three ships that are named at this particular time. So when the people get off of these ships, including sailors and tourists, they are directed through here, through these areas here. So this is sort of a tourist corridor right here, where there's a little gift shop. This is Alea's flower shop right here, but she also sells souvenirs and gifts. And there's this is her shop, and these are some of the things that are in her shop right here. And this is where she plants things as well. And so she is one of the kids also. And this is one of the shorter stairwells that goes up to the town hall level. But right across from the gift shop is this archaeological find. This is actually a skeleton's bath. This is actually a skeleton's bath. This is a mystic site. It was uncovered when the town hall was being built up above it. And for the longest time, it was just left unrecovered. And then finally, the town decided to have this as a tourist attraction and someplace for the townspeople to come and to be able to enjoy. And believe it or not, the tourists actually do come in here. So this is the baths. It's and Aaron was the one who restored it. Across from the baths is Anya. Anya has the Doc's Clinic, and this clinic is for people. Santino's not feeling well. This clinic is for the Doc's location so that people don't have to traipse all the way up to the Meadows Hospital at the center of town. So Anya has this little place, and it was so funny when I came in here and I was like, how did I keep these green beds? I don't know how this happened, that these beds are still green when the whole place is kind of blue. So this is very odd, but it's probably Anya's choice. Anya probably wanted the beds to be green as a sign of, what's that? What were you saying? Why are you unhappy? Let me see. Injuries, guards. Guards, we're not going to be able to do anything about. Death, we're not going to be able to do anything about those things. We're not going to have as many deaths as it takes to make a happy colony here. So we're just not. So let's come out. So Anya's doing a good job of taking care of people. But if you feel fine, you can come over here to the tavern when you get off the ship, and you can rent a room if you want to stay. And this is the tavern's front desk right here. And people come and they rent a room. You can see some keys hanging up right there. And this is also where they serve breakfast in the morning. So there are some people sitting. You can get served all day, and you can also, if you want, be served a meal from outside this, on this deck. So you can come up to here and you can get some food handed, and then you can eat it right out here on this deck. And yeah, I see that one of the old torches, the old-fashioned torches are still up there. That is very curious. So, and if you want to stay, I think this is just the yeah, it's just the storage for the tavern down here. But up here in this hallway are the little areas where you can rent a place to stay. These are actually the little rooms. This is one of the taverns where we actually modified this room. I know it's really loud. It's so loud. It'll go off in a minute or two. And so, and then upstairs here is where all that music is coming from. Up here, where some people are on the table. They're dancing on the furniture up here. That's how long they've been partying. And these are tourists who are staying here, staying the night. Now, for because we have such a big harbor, we actually built a second tavern. At the time that this town was created, we could build a second tavern. So there is a second tavern here. And this tavern also has a downstairs area. And this is where the people get served food right here. And then their storage is behind this door, right in this area here. This is where this particular tavern keeps all its stuff. I think we're going to go to bed here. We're going to rent a room and we're going to go to sleep. I'm going to turn off the light and sleep for a minute. And what is loud? You didn't do anything? Oh no, it's the music. It's the music in the tavern that's loud. And so these are the little rooms in this tavern. This tavern has a couple little tiny rooms in it. Here's two of them, and the third one is right here. So all of these rooms are for the tavern. We're going to go out. And then this tavern is the reason that I built this tavern here. It has this upstairs garden rooftop. And so people like to come up here and sit and watch the waterfall from the crag, and they also can eat up here. There it goes. Wow. Yeah. Oh, good. Yes, and that's what happened. The last one that I was doing, unfortunately, it didn't work out. So this back here, hidden back here, is this little, go to Garden and Waterfall and the glass building. Okay, I'll go over here, Zaph. This is actually, this glass building is actually the stairwell for the crag, and the waterfall is in between, is actually a feature of the tavern and the stairwell. So if I come down here, let's come down here past these tourists. We're going to go up these stairs. I think we need to go up the stairs on this side, and we'll be able to see. And there it is. So from here you can look down and see the people enjoying food, and you can see the waterfall from the stairwell. You like the garden? It is beautiful, isn't it? It's actually really pretty, and that is a part of that particular build. This build is actually the Desert Oasis Tavern, and it has that. And because it did, it's the reason that I put it here, because there was already jungle, and I wanted to use this space, and I didn't want it to be like blank. We thought we were going to put the school here originally, and then we didn't. And so this was a perfect thing to put here. Now, this used to be a fishery, and this fishery was the very first, one of the first buildings built on the island. It is only a level 2. It's still only a level 2. This is a Shire fishery. And we just keep it as a historic site so that people can see their history here. So sometimes the teacher brings the kids here on tour, but this was so peaceful and so beautiful that we have kept it. We hadn't done anything to it. So this is the crag, which is the center of the city. This mountain, which is a water mountain, and this water mountain is where the town hall is. Now, we just saw rain. When the islanders first got here, they loved this waterfall coming down from this mountain. And Zaph will remember that there was no little pool here. We actually made a pool on Zaph's suggestion for this area, since it was going to remain the entrance to the town hall. Now, in front of the town hall is a builder's shop, and this builder's shop frames the entrance to the town hall on this side. And Aaron right now is doing this. Yes, Aaron is working from this builder shop right now. And the builder shop has 3 levels. It has storage on 2 upper levels of the shop. And there's a window looking into the town hall right there. And the shop storage goes on both sides of the town hall entrance. So that is actually the entire town hall. The last time we came here, you liked the bit of the atmosphere, the enchanting tower. Yeah, we'll head there. So this is the town hall, level 5. And this is the theater right here. And this theater is set up for right now for a political event. But this theater can also do theater, and bands, rock bands come here, musicians come here. So there's all sorts of performances that are put on this stage. And so that is the theater. Across from the theater is the mayor's office. This is Mayor Yaz's office, which he doesn't come to that often. But if there is some official from another town who wants to see him, this is where they hold their meetings, and sometimes have meals in this special dining room in this area in the town hall. And then there is in this room there is a collection of some plants that are indigenous to the island, are here as a collection. And that is that reminds of the stream where you said that during another Minecolonies stream you had discovered a secret block. Yeah. And so this is it. And I am going to take the moment to do this. When I find them, I'm taking them down. We haven't been doing that lately, but I am going to do it right now. We don't do flags, and it's just a thing. It is the thing of Tana. Tana does not do flags. We'll do banners, but we don't do flags. And these are specifically colony flags. And this is just my story. I have nothing against other people having flags in their colony. You do you. You do whatever you want in your colony. That is what Minecraft is all about. And Minecolonies actually is really good about that. So you can do whatever you want. And then upstairs from both of these, this is the ground floor. Upstairs on this side is one of the libraries. There's a library across the way as well, but this is one of the libraries here. This library has a good enchanting tower, and this is good. It was the colonial style at the sector of agriculture or decoration in the category fields. Ah, a secret block, huh? Okay, and this little area here is actually not a hotel. This is actually the green room for performers. So when there are people performing downstairs, like theater people, this is the dressing room, and this is where they come to rest and to get ready for performances if there's a band. It's also where they can stay if they need to, although we would prefer them to stay in the tavern because the tavern has better facilities. And this is a little kitchen and has some storage and places where they can put things in regards to the theater. So if they're doing a performance and there's stage pieces, they go into that storage room. Over here, this is a, I don't know what this is. I haven't figured it out yet. I think it's supposed to be like a ring for some sort of event. And it might be like a ring to show off prowess of like fighting with swords or something like that. So that is here. And then this is city planning on this part right here. If you hear a sound in the background, that sound is Vincentius Primus. He's actually he has a job and he's working on music, and he can't hear us right now. So he actually needs to finish a project, and so that's what he's working on. And this is the other library across the way. And there we go. So this is the town hall in the crag. And now one of the main staircases, you must say you need a theater in Minecolonies. There are 2 theaters in Minecolonies. There's actually 3. Minecolonies, this is the Cavern Build, and this theater is a part of the town hall Cavern Build. Cavern, alternative cavern style town hall has that. I will tell him that. He can't hear us now, but I'll tell him. Thank you. Obrigado. And the other theater is in the university fortress. One of the university styles that you can pick in the fortress has an unbelievably amazing theater in the basement. It is just gorgeous. And so of the university fortress. And so that's one. And then one of the decorations, and I think it's the traditional decorations, there is actually a outdoor theater that is a part of the gardens, a part of the garden pieces. So yeah, there definitely is one there. So Minecolonies has 3 theaters so far, and they're really beautiful, and I love them. In this instance, we made that theater, although now that you've reminded me of the other one, the outdoor theater, I might do that. For the streams, yesterday didn't have peace at night. At least today you didn't work. Oh, I bet you didn't because your tooth. I know, that's always hard. It really is. And let's come here and let's come up here. So this is the university, and the upstairs of the university has these lecture halls. And these lecture halls are really, really pretty. You think villagers, we have a bit more luxury because we have some presentations in villages that have conditions to build a theater. Yay, good. And this is the second lecture hall. These are lecture halls upstairs in the theater, and you didn't have to move to, you went to Twitch, nothing much. Okay. Okay, and let's come down here. And then this is the main part of the university where research is, a lot of research is being done here and across the hall in the library. This is the Cragg Library, University Library, and research is done here as well. This is, both of these buildings are Lady Chaitana's cavern buildings. This is a default library right here, which we wanted to build in this area to have 2 floors in the same way that this this university is. These are also her corridors as well. Now here we have one of our first housing. This is the university housing. This is an urban birch residence, level 5, that has been turned into housing for students, and also has some openings for housing for couples in it. And then at the top of this housing right here, we have, we're going to come over here. Didn't have a movie. You didn't have a movie. Yeah, you didn't do a movie. You went to Twitch because there was nothing much going on. Okay. Okay. And so now we're at the very top of, almost the top of the crag. We have some houses in this area, and we'll come back to them in a minute. Santino, what are you waiting on? Why are you here? It's nighttime. Why are you here? Hold on. It's not night. 15:07? That's very strange that he's not home. And I don't know what's holding him up or keeping him from going home. Ah, there he goes. Does he? Oh, there he is. Okay. He lives nearby, and he was just stopping at the University Cafe, which belongs to Faye and Paula, and he was just getting something to eat. They must have made him something that he was picking up. Now, I don't mind these banners. I don't mind banners. I just don't want flags, country flags. And this is the storage in the restaurant. This is downstairs eating in the restaurant and the kitchen. And then this is the outside eating. And people like to eat here because this is actually open to the outside in this area. And so they like eating in this section. We're going to use this other stairwell and go up here to where we have what Mr. Villager was talking about. This is the enchanting tower right here. It is actually inside the mountain, and this enchanting tower used to be a cavern style, but then when research was done and we discovered the city of witches, that there were documents documenting the fact that witches had cities long, many years ago, many centuries ago. And while witches are in these roving bands of 3 or 4 witches together, at one time, witches had huge cities, amazing cities. And so our research teams found the blueprints for some of the buildings that were built in the city of witches. And one of them was this stunning Enchanter's Tower. This is Crimson Keep under the Styles. And so this building is what Kelvin wanted. I know it's dark in this area. I apologize. Let me see. I used to be able to carry a torch with me, and it would light up what I was looking at, but something about the new, the 20 version of Minecraft doesn't allow torches to do that anymore. So what I would almost have to do in some of these darker areas is just put this down so that you can see what this looks like for a minute. So this is one of the libraries. There are floors and floors of libraries here. And so up here, this is the final floor up here, and this is the wizard's workshop, and this is Calvin's workshop here. And I'll just light it up a little bit. And this is the reason we built it here. The sun and the moon rise right in this window, and it looks like this. And so this is the view that the enchanter has of the sunrise and the moonrise. Yes, the witches had amazing cities at one point, and they were, because of how old the witches were, they were very old and very beautiful. This is the moon set on the other side. So this building can see both the moon and the sun at the same time. And so this is the reason why we built this witch's tower here, this enchanting tower. Now, Kelvin was a researcher named Malia, liked working with Kelvin, and they actually became partners, personal partners, as well as business, as well as what they worked at. And he has encouraged her to become an enchanter. So Aaron is actually building a second enchanter room off of this one for Malia, and he's working on that. There's something going on why he's not working on it, and I'll have to find out what that is, because this is the second time that I've come in and he seems to be stuck, not working. But this is the beautiful way. But witches are not ugly as fairy tales present. Yes, ugly is an interesting definition. I think that a lot of times witches are considered ugly because a lot of times people consider old women ugly. And because of that, that is what happens, because the best witches are the ones who have been on the planet the longest. And sometimes those witches are hurt and have bad lives, and it affects the way they do magic. And then other times they have good lives and it affects the way they do magic. And so this is what happens to witches. But now witches no longer have cities because of the skeletons, because of the mobs, because of the land people. They sort of went away in almost the same way that the elves are going away in the Tolkien story in Lord of the Rings. The witches went away. So you see witches wandering in Minecraft, but those are just remnants of the original witches. And yes, Mermaid, you think how's going to be named your new facility? I'm thinking about it. I want to give it a lovely name, so I'm still thinking about it. And so this is our enchanter tower, and the other rooms, these rooms here, are Kelvin and Malia's private rooms in the enchanter tower. This is their living area, and this is their bedroom. This bedroom was originally in the first enchanting tower, and now it's their bedroom in this enchanting tower. So they were lucky enough that that just happened to work out. The phrase made you think about the sniffers. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. So we're going to go down these stairs, and we're going to, since this is a tour, we're going to see these houses. This is used to be this used to be someone's house, but now it's Faye and Robin's house. I think it was always Faye's house. These are some houses that have amazing views, because even though they're in the mountain, they're also outside, on the outside of the hill. And so these views are views that cavern style wouldn't normally have. Vincentius, hi, Vincentius. Mr. Villager said hello, and I think Zaph says hello. So I'm just saying, because he's away from, he's not in his game anymore.
I'll say hello back since
you're
here
right here. Exactly.
Hi, guys.
Hello. Okay, so he's on his way downstairs, but I just wanted him to know. Alex is coming here to have breakfast. Alex is one of the Fishers, and there's Faye and Paula at the restaurant, and this is Faye's house with Robin, who is the right now he is one of the masons, but originally he was a builder, and that's how they met. The part that you said that the witches and elves are disappearing because of land people, who knows the reason for the sniffers had to disappear? I see what you're saying. Okay, cool. So this used to be Caspian's house, but I believe now that Yusuf is Abraham and Micah's son, and they all live here. And Micah, she is one of the professors, and Abraham is the head librarian, and this is their house here. This is one of the experiments that we did to change, to give a different look to the cavern build houses that I have, like 7 or 8 of these houses. This is a cavern build. So this is the alternative house. The alternative house looks like this. The default house, this is a modification of a cavern build default house, where we pushed out the wall here to reach this view, so that this part of the housing would have this view right here from their kitchen. And then this is the house that Alea and her partner, who I think is Marcos, they live in this housing section right here. And these are the rooms in their houses, in their bedrooms. So these are 2 of the family homes in the crag, and I think that's the 3 family homes in the crag. There are couples homes in the crag, and we're going to go to one of the other towers. There are 2 university towers in the crag, and they're behind the town hall, the 2nd tower. This is also Justice, the guardian Justice. She is a druid, and this is her guard tower, the town hall guard tower. She's another one who has cavern build that has some extra things added because she could have a window. She has a window right there. I hadn't thought about it. I'm just thinking about it now, that I might make this a window rather than a picture right there. I'm going to think about that, and I might do that on a day that I'm not doing a tour. And this is the 2nd university tower, and we've done a lot of decorating in this tower. This is one of the rooms, one of the apartments right here. And can I get those doors to... There we go. I was like, that's not opening. Oh, Ooh, this is a change. Oh, we might have to change something here. So this is a Macaw's windows, and it used to be that this whole thing opened. But because of what's going on with the windows right now, I think I would need I think it's an axe, AX. I think there's a special axe here that's meant to separate the builds, and it might be in Windows. Let me see, DOW, there it is. It's this axe, and this axe is meant to separate these windows, and let's see if I can get it to do that. There's one, and let's see if I can get that one. No, it's not going to let me. This is new. This is new. So this wasn't meant to be a window like this with the two doors on the side, but luckily it works fine, and I'm just going to leave it. It's one of the changes that's been made to in 20, and so that's affected some of the things that are built in certain areas. So let's go up here for a minute. We were working on this apartment also. And this apartment, these are fine. This is how they're supposed to look, but they can't use them as doors. That is so interesting. So these are the only ones that can be used as doors now. And I've got both of the doors blocked by furniture. And then they have this window here. Isn't that curious? That is so strange. So this is a sample of the apartment build-outs that we do for couples. This is Faye and Robin's house. They moved out of the big apartment that they had upstairs to let families live in there. These used to open, and they don't open anymore. That is going to be so interesting. Yeah, they don't open. So all of these windows used to open, which is why we were using them. And some of this has changed. Those are Macaw's windows, all right. Fascinating, fascinating. But I'm glad, I'm glad you like the balconies. And so we can go out. People are coming home. I should get out of the way. Sorry, I don't mean to be in the way. And I have to be careful because I don't want to push them downstairs. So I apologize, Robin. So let me get out of the way here. I'm going to go out here so you can see. So in the crag, can I rise up here? I sure can. This is what all of that looks like on the outside. So these are the apartment buildings for the crag, and these are the houses on top of the university. You can see the kitchens in these, I beg your pardon, in these houses. This is the university down here, and then these are apartments. You can see those balconies right there from the outside. This is the guard tower, which is the reason I was saying it could have a window on the world right here, which would look really cool. And so I think I might do that on the Twitch stream. This is just a tour, so I'm not doing anything today. I'm just showing you. This is the second of the two towers, the university apartment towers, and that's the second one towards the front. And then up here, which you can't see in the nighttime, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep right here on this patch of grass for a minute. Did I leave my bed at the... No, I did bring it with me. Okay, so let's put a bed down for a minute, and we're going to just sleep right here inside the ultra craze, the nice balcony, and the inside. Yes. Yeah, it's pretty intense. So, and then this is the enchanting tower with its roof as the cap of this mountain. And so there are pools, there are still freshwater pools all through this mountain, and that is the fresh water that this place uses. So this is what all of those buildings inside this this mountain look like. And then there's our docks down here. So now we're going to go into a different section of town. We're going to go to the farm section. There's Caspian. So when we first got here, this is the coastal area where we have tourists come. This is the tourist area. So we have this tavern right here. So we wanted to have some things for tourists. So we have a coastal, this is the coastal restaurant, which belongs to Barbara and Diana. This is their restaurant right here. And right down from the restaurant is a bakery right here, and it belongs to Jameer. Now, Jameer originally owned the restaurant, and Barbara was one of his chefs, and he got restless of having the restaurant, and he decided he wanted to be a baker instead. And when Orion, who was the baker, but he was only a baker because his alchemy shop wasn't finished in the temple area, and so this allowed him to like have his hand in mixing things. There's Jameer, and Jameer is very happy as the baker, and he gave the restaurant to his partner Barbara, who then got another partner, Diana, to come and work. So Diana and Barbara are running the coastal restaurant. This is the coastal gardens that Avery runs. She's the curator. This is a tourist garden right here. The tourists can come walk around the garden, sit in the garden, see all the beautiful flowers and everything. And if they want to purchase something, she can sell it to them from the inside of this shop. And so this is the garden that she is running, especially for the tourists to visit. Right here is our little zoo. This is Avery. Oh, they're out. Look, the bees are out. Let's go into the beehive. So this is the apiary, and he's not going in. Look, there they are. The bees are out. And so tourists can look through these windows here, and they can see these giant bees making honey in this apiary right here. And the beekeeper, this is Abel, he takes care of them, and he is making honey and making sure that we have honey for our cooks and to export. And so this is all the tourist area, this whole area with these buildings right along the coastline right here. Now, if we continue to here, we have one of our other couriers. I love when those fish, there are some of the fish that end up splashing to the surface, and I love that. And so the Chroma Hills bees are different. Yes, they are different. And the Chroma Hills bees actually have colors to them. We don't have any of the special colored bees right now, but they do. They have bees that are in different weird colors, which is pretty wild. Now, this is Jace's courier shop right here. And below Jace's courier shop is the remnant of the original campsite for the first 4 people who came to this island. And this, the remnant is this little area right here. This little piece right here actually belongs to the campsite. It was not destroyed when this building was built. This Dark Hope courier shop was built. It was built specifically, this courier shop, to try and preserve the campsite, and it did in the most interesting way. And so I was very happy about that. This flooring right here is a part of the campsite, and then this ship is a remnant of one of the river runners that the first four used to go back to the sunken ship and get some things and get some supplies after they were here on this island. So this is their boat, a remnant of their boat. So these are essentially museum pieces here. This is one of the houses, one of the oldest houses that we have. We passed some other houses that are older, and I'll go back to them. But this is the farmhouse where at one point all the farmers lived here. And then as we got more housing for the farmers so that we could have couples and they could actually have families, then this housing actually became only one couple's house, Nathan and Emmeline. I'm going to go back here along this road for a second to show two things. We were looking at the coastal things right there. There's Avery. Avery's asking for compost, I'm sure. But this was one of the second builders, probably the first builder that we built, this one right here. This is the one that's broken and was broken by the glitch that caused me to Zaph. I almost lost the entire world. You weren't around when it happened, and I'm really glad you weren't, because I think you would have been really stressed by it, because we really did. I almost lost the world. It bombed and I could not get it to come back. And like I said, Vincentius worked on it. Minecolonies, thank you. McSassa worked on it. Ray worked on it. Sam worked on it. And so it was really, really I so appreciate the fact that they did that. It was a glitch of some sort, and they fixed a little bit. It wasn't theirs, really, but they helped fix it. It was not a Minecolonies glitch. It was Java. And but they were able to help, and it was really, really wonderful. So this is a Shire house here that belongs to Barbara and Jameer. Nice to know that you didn't lose it. Yeah, I mean, it was serious. And it's one of the reasons, Mr. Villager, that I'm doing this tour right now, because I actually want to document that these buildings, just in case. Because this is Twitch, I don't have recordings of how this was done the way you do in YouTube. In YouTube, all of this is all still there. All these buildings are all still there, and which is really fun, and I love it. How the island, not the island, how this the underwater facility first got started, all of that is on YouTube. But for Twitch, I'm just doing tours. I don't have time to manage recording or doing that. So this is to preserve when the time comes. This is 19, Mr. Villager, and Minecolonies is moving to 20. And when there will come a time where I won't be able to come back here. I will begin to start working in 20. But what happens when I move on, because I have done this through 16. So if you look on my other YouTube videos under Monster to Mermaid, you will see other colonies that are still going on, even though they're older colonies and I can't necessarily go back to them. I like to think that those colonies are still happening and are still happy people living at peace and that is what I want. This is the farm district right here. This is Charlie's composter right here in the farm district. This little valley was a valley, and so we took advantage of the fact that it was a valley, and we had Emmeline's farm right here was built on the ground floor of this valley. And this is Emmeline's farm right here. Emmeline has a little farm hut right in here where she can take a nap, or she can have, she can just rest there. And I'm going to take this light down here because there's no way to see what's going on down here. And this is what we have. So this is actually the Shire farm that actually has a place to grow. I do this every single time I come here. I end up uprooting these plants. So I'm going to put that there. We're just going to come up and we're going to leave these mushrooms I picked right there. And I think we're good for right now. I'm going to hold on to this lantern just in case we need it for some other places. So that is Emmeline's farm. Briar's farm is right here, and Briar's farm is one of 3 of these Incan farms, one of 4 now. We have 4 Incan farms right here, and those belong to, it is a small, what's wrong? Why you delete your messages? It's a small strategy that you're adopting to when you watch any stream. I don't know why you do that, Mr. Villager. I actually don't understand why you're doing that. I don't understand, because what happens, Mr. Villager, is, are you saying that you don't want my stream to have the history of having your chat involved so that people know the wonderful questions that you asked? When the stream ends, when the streamer reads one of my messages, I delete it. And for the streamer to prioritize new ones, oh, don't do that. Because what happens, Mr. Villager, is that then when people come back and look at the chat later, they don't understand what the conversation was, because your part of the conversation is gone. That's part of the stream, and I really appreciate it. Unless you don't want me to have your chat as part of my stream, because that's what happens. And I guess I don't understand, and it makes me a little sad. Because, yeah, they see new ones, but they don't see the ones. So you guys are watching, right? Does YouTube not save the chats? Is that what you two are telling me? That the people who are watching now are the only people who are going to see these chats? Is that what you're saying? Because that sounds like what you're saying. This is the other farm that we built, and we'll see. And I would need to ask Vincentius Primus if that's true, that YouTube doesn't show the chats from the stream. Because if it doesn't show the chats from the stream, that's one thing. That means that the people who are watching are the only ones who get a chance to see the conversations that happen during the stream. But things are getting a bit messy recently in regards to, they see the icons by our names also have time in front of their names sometimes. Yeah, but you can't. That's something that people are used to in YouTube, if it's a thing. Let me see if I can get Vincentius's attention for a second, and I'm going to find out. Mr. Villager is deleting his chats his chat chat in stream because he thinks that it interferes with people seeing the newer chats. And what I wanted to find out, Vincentius, is does YouTube have the ability to see the chats after the stream is over? Do they show the chats after the stream is over?
I don't know how. But I mean, I don't know how they expose it in their user interface, but I know that that's an option. That some of them have real-time chat playback disabled and some have it enabled. So
okay,
it is possible.
So people can enable chat or they can disable it. You click on chat and saw replay live chat, something like that. Okay, good.
Yes.
So what happens, Mr. Villager, is when you remove what you say, what happens is they don't know what we're talking about. They don't know what I'm talking about when I say that you said something. And you don't have to do that. So 30 degrees is hard. Wait a minute, you're melting. Oh, it's hot. It's hot where you are. Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, that was just, I'm hoping that Mr. Villager will not continue to remove his chats. And if you came back and you were looking at streams and you didn't understand why Mixasa was talking about something, or you didn't understand what I was talking about, it's because Mr. Villager asked a question or was telling us something, and then he removed it. And so we were just responding to whatever it was. So it's just a thing. I don't think he was thinking about it in the long run. And he was just thinking that he was helping me in some kind of way to keep a track of the chats, but I don't think that's going to work like that. So it's not hot. You feel like you are bread in an oven with 2 stacks of coal because I'm focusing on you. Because I'm focusing. One time a streamer almost got crazy when this happened, and he thought that his stream was getting glitched. That's right. That's right. When you remove it, it makes it like, wait, what happened to those? I've thought that too a couple of times, where it's like, wait, what happened to what you just said? And it makes it hard for us. If you don't want to be in chat, or if the things you said, you don't want them to be there, don't say them. Don't say them. Because the whole point of chat is for everyone to be able to do that. That's not too much. Okay. Okay, so I just want you to know, and I just would appreciate if you did not do that, Mr. Villager. Can you do that for me? I would like that. So for instance, if I named your town now, no one would know that you asked me to do that. You know what I mean? No one who is not on the stream right now would know anything about it. And that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Okay, the sun is coming up here. The sun's coming up. And I'm going to go down. So we were just in the farm country, and we were looking at all the farms. This is our newest courier right here. This is actually a courier. Right now, this courier is almost only a level 2, but it's going to go up to a level 5. This is a Byzantine courier. This is one of the couriers you can have in Byzantine. I think you can have more than one style. but this is Byzantine, and I had to have it. It's actually a wagon, and I just loved it. And the Byzantine style is so cool with some pieces like that, and they're really fun. So this is the farm area, and our latest farm is being built right under the forestry. So this is the forestry right here, and up here, these are the forester's fields where he grows the trees. Our forester is Clayton, and Clayton and Charlie, the composter, are partners. And there, speaking of Charlie, hi Charlie. Oh, you can't get by? Let me let you by. And there's Clayton. So I wonder if she came up to see him. Look at this. No, she's going to get some food from Marvin's restaurant. And so is Sergio. They're both going to lunch. They're going to have lunch at Marvin's restaurant. And so this is our newest farmer right here, Ray. Ray's been a researcher for many, 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 many years, but he got tired of it and he decided he wanted an outside job. So this farm is in the process of being built for him. This is only a level 3, I think, right now. And Mr. Villager is saying in chat, mostly the viewers don't give attention to chat when not in the stream. You think that more don't, so they don't get stressed. Okay. And then you're saying thanks for empathy levels because you know how the girl that last year that bit a pen and then it exploded in her mouth and her mouth stayed half. The entire class dyed blue. Oh. So everyone's I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I just wanted to be able to say that to you so that you in the future will understand. And I'm glad you said something about why you were doing that, because I kept thinking, what is going on with chat? Why does that keep happening? I even said something to Vincentius about it. So you promise? I appreciate that. Thank you very much. There's Delaney. Delaney's actually our egg farmer. And we have a couple farmers who are in this cave. This is soybeans being grown here. And then this is the Burrows right here. The Burrows has some houses. You remember the nickname they gave to her? Aww. Aw, that's a shame. Yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. I can imagine. So this is farmers housing back here. And we have farmers housing in this section. And then we have farmers housing up the hill. And the farmers housing up the hill is, you can't? Who is that? That might have been Quinn saying that he needs something. There's Walter. Walter's delivering. Yep, Walter's making deliveries. Let's go up to the treehouse district and we'll see the other houses where people live in this area, which is one of my favorite right here. You wish to know? No, nah. That's okay. So these houses are part of the treehouse district right here. And this was a set of housing that was made to look over the farms so they can see the farms down below. But we had all these beautiful tall trees here. And these tall trees is where we wanted to put these houses. And so this is why. Look at this view, Zaph. We're in the tree houses district and we can see your ship. Hi. Hi, Emmeline. Emmeline, what are you doing up here? Oh, she must have went to the hospital and she's taking this ladder down to the ground. Yeah. Wow. And there is one of the couriers. There's Raven, and she's taking the ladder down to the coastal area. But this is the treehouse area here. And Mr. Villager is saying, you're happy for the fact, finally, after 2 years, some style devs put campfires for smoke in some of the composters' huts. Emmeline is one of the farmers, and she lives down below. She lives in that house with the yellow roof down there, down below where I am. So that's where she is. And right up here, you can see Aaron. Aaron's in his bedroom. He has the day off. He doesn't have anything that he's working on right at the moment, and so he has the day off, and he is in his house. And then if we go along this part of the road, oh, and good thing Aaron has the day off because it started pouring. Oh, okay, I'm going down here. Where's the closest tavern? I'm going to run to the tavern and get a room because that is a thunderstorm. And we're going to have to quickly go to bed. People can get hit by lightning. The buildings can't, but people actually can. So we're going to come in here. We're going to go to sleep. And we're going to sleep until the next day. Maybe I'll read a book for a minute or two. Emmeline scared you, Zaph? Oh, because she came up right behind. She came up right behind me. Yeah, she did, didn't she? She did indeed. So it's the next morning. Oh, good. Did you hear that? One of the customers was really happy. Oh, it's him. It's this Luca. That was Luca who just said the food was great. Wow. Isn't that cool? That's wonderful. I love it. Okay, so we're going to go to another section right here. This is the Downs. And there is a builder's shop right here that Marin is using right now because one of our 5 builders is broken. 2 of our 5 builders got broken by the crash, and they can't be repaired because of their locations. And because I've done so much modding in the area where they're located, if they're repaired, they'll actually break other things. So we just won't use them. And so there's some housing down in this area. Ray and Scarlett just moved into this house right here, and they have a view. Even though this house is underground, they actually have this view right here into the farm area, and I just love that that happened. So this is their little house here. The rest of these are underground, as you can see right here. The entire house is inside this little cave area. This is the downstairs of the Guardian Tower that belongs to the first Guardian, who is Ariana. She's the first guard. She's the first guard that we had on the island, and so she has the rank of first guardian. And so this is her tower right here, and we gave her a little window and a little doorway off because she was in this cave where these other houses are. This is another house here that belongs to one of our families. This is a house that is made up of actually a arcology house, and that's where these bedrooms belong to, an arcology house. And then over here is the Byzantine bedroom, which belongs to the couple, Louisa and Ezekiel. Louisa was raised in this house by Santino and Diana, And then Santino and Diana moved into a couple's home and gave Louisa the family home to raise her child that she had with Ezekiel. Ezekiel is the dean of the university, and they are together. In this house is the curator of the coastal gardens and the beekeeper. They live in this house here. This house, for the longest time, was not fixed. They just had the living room section, and the rest of the rooms kind of weren't completed. It took a long time for their furniture to come in, and for this house to be completely done, where they had their living room and this extra bedroom for their grandchildren, and then this study for both of them right here, and then their kitchen. Their kitchen and their dining area was done for a long time, and now finally the bedrooms are completed. And they're the ones who have this little part here on their roof where all of the families in this area gather for barbecues and things right in this little area. This is the entrance to the Downs. The Downs is underneath the meadows, which is this area here. This is the meadows right here. And this meadows is the reason that I brought these people here. It is a high valley meadow, and it is full of these gorgeous flowers. And so this is what I wanted the people to experience. And so this is here, the curator of this meadows. These sheep are wild. We do not breed sheep. These are the sheep that appear here, that spawn here as a part of this island, and a single pig. So that continues to be where Drew is taking care of them. Hi, Drew. And because we put in a Byzantine sheep herder's hut that covers a full amount of ground, so you don't have to, not Byzantine, sorry, steampunk, so you don't have to have fences. And so if the sheep stay within a certain area, which they do, the sheep stay within this area, even though it doesn't have an actual fence, Drew will come and he'll gather wool from them and feed them if they need feeding and things like that. So this is the meadow. Below the meadow, we have the Downs. Across from this little curator hut for the meadow is the school. This is one of the first schools in the styles that actually had a blackboard and was just amazing. And I always loved this school. And there's Thalia, who's our school teacher. There are a lot of really cool schools now, but this is my favorite. And since we were in the jungle and I wanted to put the school on this road, I needed to have it kind of be a tree so that it would sit well in this jungle area. And so that's why we put in a dark oak school right there. This is the Meadows Hospital. This is the main hospital. This is Aurelia's hospital. Her son, Reed, now runs this hospital. And after her untimely loss, she accidentally fell while she was making house calls. She fell in the mountain area, and she did not recover from her injuries. So Reed was studying at that time, and he was doing medical research, but he was not a doctor yet. And Kelvin came in, and he took over when the doctor was no longer available, and he took over, but he actually convinced Reed to take over for his mother take over the hospital after he studied alchemy. So Kelvin ran the hospital, the wizard ran the hospital until Reed finished his studies, and then Reed has been our doctor ever since, and Reed's a very good doctor. We have 3 doctors. We have Anya, who is at the docks. We have Peyton, who is in the crag. Who is in the Wolf's Head, and that's our 3. We have a hospital and 2 clinics, and so that's off of here. This is one of our builder shops. This builder shop, luckily we had 2 Shire builder shops, so the fact that we lost the one down below, meaning that it won't work, so we're able to use this one right here, and Jordan is using this shop right here while he works on the farm that is being built. No one's working right now because this is a tour, and I think they finished their projects that they had and they need to move on, but I'm not going to take the time to do that right at this moment. This is the Downs, and the Downs is the industrial area where we have industrial crafters. So this is the blacksmith Raymond right here, and next door to Raymond, this is Evelyn's little shop. Evelyn is a retail glass cutter, and this is her shop right here. Her retail shop is relatively new. The actual glass industrial shop is over here. This shop is now Robin's, but it used to be Jalen's shop right here, and this shop was one of the first shops that went in. This is the stonemason right here, and Jalen liked making huge pieces, and these statue pieces are actually shipped out on ships for statues that are being erected in other cities. That's what she works on, and Robin took over that business of hers. Robin is a stonemason now. He originally was a builder, and he actually built Faye's restaurant and built several things in the crag, but he got restless of it and he wanted to do stonemasonry instead. Right here we have Quincy's. This is Quincy's glass shop, and Quincy and Evelyn work on glass, and Evelyn runs the retail aspect because Quincy doesn't like to, and then Quincy does this part. Now he does have pieces of glass here, but these are for the builders to come and look at. So only builders really come to his shop, and Evelyn handles the tourists who come to the shop. This is Lillian's concrete, industrial concrete shop. We have 2 concrete plants. This is one of them. This is Lillian's, and this was the first one. Now Lillian does have some retail space here. She actually shows them. At this time, holding you, don't eat your sister's strawberry cookie. You're holding a strawberry cookie? You're eating the entire package? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're not going to save some for her? So, this is where Lillian makes concrete, and she sells concrete as retail, and so she's got this little display shelf here where she is showing the colors that she makes of concrete and things like that. So and then she has some storage. Now in the northeast northwestern part of the country, of the island. We have Jason, I think, is the industrial concrete mixer. And let's see, the package will have the same ending as her chocolate box. So, Mr. Villager, you're eating all your sister's cookies. Is that what you're doing? Uh-oh. That doesn't make for good sibling relationships. It definitely does not. It does not. This is our first mine, and it's had several miners, but Tucker has remained the miner for a really long time. Now, Tucker was the miner when something catastrophic happens. Luckily, we had done the research early on for the miner to have fire protection. So the miner actually did have fire protection when he found lava down at this level. I don't know whether you can see it on the map, the little map up above. I'm going to see if I can find the actual location. There doesn't seem to be any lava now, but he opened up a lava place here that started the stairwell on fire and burned 13 levels of the mine were burned and were completely gone. And I didn't even know it at one time. And so he had to rebuild those 13 floors at the bottom. The mine shafts are really neat. What happened there? I can't see what's under that. What's under that stupid heart that YouTube has. Need to be exactly, mine shafts really need to be this size. Yeah, this is pretty big. But as you can see, Tucker's also building out in this area. So see, he has mines that go back in this area here, and he has a couple of floors where he is digging out the actual mine. So you get the materials while he digs down. There's another one right here. And then you also get the materials when he starts digging into these hallway entrances that he has off of all of these areas right here. So yes, so 13 floors of this mine disappeared, and he completely rebuilt those floors and saved that part of the mine. And who knows, someday you'll develop your own style. I'm looking forward to that. I am. This is Ashton's ores smeltery. This is the industrial smeltery here. And this smeltery, Ashton doesn't like it when I tell the sad story of the development of this place, because while it was being built, one of the inexperienced, she was not experienced enough to handle the lava, and she thought she was, but she mishandled the lava and she did not recover from her burns. She got burned, badly burned, and unfortunately did not recover. It was Ray's sister, and this is Ray's restaurant here. At the time that it happened, Ray only had this restaurant down here. He had this little tiny restaurant. This is a level 2. This was one, I think this was the only mistake that I've made in this city. I know that in the Sea Bridge, in the YouTube city, the Sea Bridge underwater base, I've made a couple mistakes, but this was the only mistake here. I actually started building things underneath this when it wasn't finished, and I forgot that it had a downstairs. So this can't be higher than a level 2. So Ashlyn is running this restaurant for Ray. Ray wanted to have a full service restaurant. And so this restaurant was started out as a fast food restaurant. And then he loved this location so much that he decided to just go ahead and make it his favorite. Both of the restaurants are fast food restaurants, but this is the one where he works with Scarlett, who is now his partner chef and his partner in his personal life also. They have a kid. And so it's right here in the Downs. Ray owns 2 restaurants. This is Amber's. The Downs has all this all this history. This is Amber's shop right here. Now, Amber's grandfather used to have this shop. He was actually making a delivery, and I don't know what happened to him, but he did something, and he ended up in lava, and he did not recover from his burns. So it just has to do with the fact that some parts of the world are really dangerous. I would almost want to say that he probably saw someone going after the treasure, and he was trying to warn them, don't go after the skeleton treasure, but they didn't listen to him, and so they both got killed. But that is what happened. We have houses in the Downs for the Downs workers, and there's some houses right here. This house belongs to one set. It's nighttime, so Maria and Raymond, not Ray, Raymond. Raymond is the blacksmith. We have 3 Rays. We have Raymond the blacksmith, Ray the chef, and we have another Ray who is something that I've forgotten right now. He's one of the kids who just came in last, and people are going to work right now. That's what you're seeing. So these houses down here belong to workers in the Downs. This is their other housing. What's going on, you guys? Come on. What are you trying to do? What are you 2 doing? So now they're going to start all over. Here they come again. I'm going to open the door for them so they can go. What are you 2 doing? Okay, so this is their little place. There's Teresa going to her shop, Ashlyn going to the restaurant down here, and this Downs area is connected to this walkway, which comes up in the tree district right here, and then this location right here goes down to housing. This location up front connects to the stair that goes down the mountain right here. But at the back of the Downs is one of our other guardians. So this is Emir. Emir is first druid, and the first druid tower guardian shop is right here. And for a while, going through Emir's bedroom was the only way you could get to this shopping center here. But then a new roadway was cut between this guard tower and this restaurant, specifically for the tram to come through, the rail to come through. This is the mall at the ruins, and this mall at the ruins is below an area that was found. I know, yeah, you think the Caledonian mine shafts very basic, but it's too much for you? Yeah, interesting. I'll have to look at those. it all started with Aaron. Aaron was working on trying to extend the border, and he built this guard tower up here, but this guard tower didn't extend the border. So we were thinking that we were going to put another guard tower right over here in this rock right here. See that right there? That's where the other guard tower was supposed to be. And we thought that guard tower would extend the border in this direction, but it didn't. It only extended the border this way, straight this way and over this way. And so because of that, we dismantled that guard tower, but in the process, between these two guard towers, Aaron discovered a facade that was an ancient skeleton city that was on this side of the island, and this skeleton city facade was restored, and people's houses were moved back into this area, and Kali decided that she was going to do this. So from next version 1.20, what's the news? The news is that Minecolonies team has started a new server, and I believe that server is 1.2 because they already have their 1.2 done, and that is one of the things that they're doing. This is Kaysen. Kaysen has a jewelry shop, and this is a retail shop, so he's got some pieces here for people to look at, and it's jewelry and jewels. And this is Kaysen. Kaysen is Kali's son, and Kali is the retail Fletcher. Mr. Villager is saying, you're always going to be disappointed by the fact that the carpenters' uniforms don't change in the medieval style. Disappointed? Yeah, well, maybe they'll hear you. This is Kali. She is putting some displays up on these top shelves here. That's why she's standing on that counter. That's what she's doing. And this is the retail Fletcher. We have a industrial Fletcher, Benjamin, on the other side of town. But this is the retail Fletcher here across from her son's, and this is her other son. She had twins, and her twins, Kali and Yaz, agreed to do the shop with her. Her partner is Mason, who is a miner in this area, and we'll check on his. Yaz is checking the lights in his shop. Now, this is a retail clothing store, and he's got all sorts of different types of clothing pieces here, and he's showing things hanging up. And then he has some dressing rooms. The idea for these dressing rooms came from Underwater Base, having dressing rooms in their retail shop. And so we put those in. And so Yaz is the mayor. The reason we call Yaz the mayor is because he likes to walk around all the time and look at everybody's things. The uniforms fits a bit with the shop. Oh, yes? Kali's uniform? Yeah, it definitely does. With the Fletcher shop, it absolutely does. And it looks like she's a shopkeeper. It definitely does look like that. And next to her is one of her sons. Ariana is partner to Yaz, and this is her dye shop. And her dye shop has some missing elements. See that wood there? Those are cabinets. That's what was missing. Those are Farmer's Delight cabinets, and I have to turn them around. When they came back, facing the wrong way. So apparently, whoever made this mod changed the way these were facing. And so when they came back, they all came back facing backwards. So you can see that they were there. And so that is what was missing from this shop. And that the last time when I was doing this, there was nothing there. When we added back Farmer's Delight, that put those shop plate pieces back there. So Ariana is our die shop owner. And right here, what you're hearing is our retail flower shop owner, Julie. And Julie runs this shopping place, shopping store, where people can come in and they can buy flower arrangements for their homes. And you can see she's got little teeny tiny flower arrangements, and then she's got bigger ones. And she's got some books on flowers and things like that. This is her little area where she does some experimental farming, and which she likes to do. And so this is the florist, the retail florist. And then across the way is the retail smeltery, which is the pottery barn. And she must be changing a light, or she is changing the stone, the clay that she has up there as demonstration. She's standing on one of the tables. So she's either changing a light or changing the display. And this is a display here, which is really fun. Yes, actually it's fine, Janet. That actually looks good, where you have those clay blocks up there, and they're perfect. So in this shop, they have been changed. Wait, they have been changed. The Fortress Flower Shop? No, that's not the Fortress Flower Shop. That flower shop is actually the original, the Minecraft original flower shop. That one is. That's not a Fortress one. And so, yeah, this is the original flower shop. And we did some modifications to the inside. And so that's why it's a little tiny bit unrecognizable. We added those lights up above, and I think we put in some shutters at the back and did some things like that. So that is the changes that we made, of course. And we also put in modified counters, and these counters are doing the same thing. Something happened, some change that either Minecraft made, which affected the mods, where all these mods that had connected pieces, those connected pieces got damaged. So see, when I take one out, see they all begin to be connected again. And it's so odd that that happened like that. So we'll take this one out and just fix those so that they're all reconnected. And I think that's supposed to look like that. Let's see if it is. Yeah, it is. So I just wanted to do that just because I saw it. And that's the way these tables are supposed to look in here. They're supposed to look like this. Why this table is turned around, I'm not entirely sure. Let me take this table out here and put that one in. That's what's supposed to be there. So it's almost like the orientation got affected. And so, yeah, so in some of the builds, I have to go back in. That happened after the glitch. You had already forgotten. Oh, yeah, you think it's because of the next style effects. Yeah, definitely. So the last shop in this area belongs to Lila, and this is the furniture shop, which is, of course, a sawmill. And this is Lila's shop right here. And this shop has been modified to be a furniture store. And there's a table. Wrong yet? What table? Which one are you talking about? In here? Hey, there's a table wrong yet. In the other one, in the shop across the way, let me see for a minute. Let's look in here. So the tables that are next to these desk pieces, this is what they look like. They look like that. And then over here, oh, yes, you're right. I forgot these. Thank you. I absolutely did forget these. Thank you very much. There we go. That's the way they're supposed to look. Good. Thank you, Mr. Villager. Obrigado. That is, I missed that part, and he just happened to see, and he was right. And yay! Thank you very much. Okay. Obrigado is thank you in Portuguese. And so then in here, this is a Shire sawmill, and we've made it into a store. So a customer can come in, and if they don't see it in the store, they can look through this book here, and then Caspian will make it. And then he'll bring it to the shop and they can pick it up from here. So she has some wood style, some wood samples in this area here that people can actually see. Because sometimes people need to see the wood to get a feel for how it looks. And so she has that set up for customers. And as an ex-furniture workshop worker, you must say, this is ultra nice. Oh, thank you. So yes, so this is the furniture store, and she's got some different style chairs and couches, and back here she has different styles of closets and dressers and cabinets for people to see and give them an idea. And she's got all sorts of different tables here in the front in the store window. And so this is her shop right here. And then next to her is the shop with the pottery. Across here is the flower shop. Up here is the clothing store right here, and their windows. Across from it is the dye shop, which is sort of like an arts. This is like a Michael's or something. This is like a Michael's shop where you go and you buy paint and things like that. Across from this is a very exclusive jewelry store, and then this is like linens and things. This is where they buy bed linens and where they buy things like that are all sold in this shop. They can also get these two things here. She does sell them, and then if they want to try out a bow, they have to go to the industrial shop on the other side of town. They're not allowed to shoot bows in the shop, and like that. Up here is the restaurant, one of the restaurants in this area. This is Ryan and Layla's house. They're the only ones who live in this corridor right here. Layla has this bakery across the way. This is our second bakery. We have two bakeries in this town, and this is one of them. And this bakery, by the way, Mr. Villager was talking about the Minecolonies team adding smoke elements in certain areas, and that's just a learning curve thing where in the beginning, when certain styles were created, there was no such thing as smoke like that. The smoke was made, if you wanted to have smoke, you had to have the old-fashioned campsite, and you had to do all sorts of things. And now the new campsite makes smoke really easily, and the new campfire. And so they have adjusted a lot of the styles, updated them, so that they use the new materials that are available. So she has, Layla has a relationship. She has, her little bakery has a little place where people can come in and sit and have a cup of coffee and have some pastries. And this is her place right here. This back door is a little secret door that goes to Mason's. This is not Mason. Mason's the miner. Marvin is the one. Someday when you make your mine colony style, you will make some rooms for me to use. Oh, cool. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to that, Mr. Villager. I can't wait. And so this is Marvin's restaurant right here. Marvin has a partner chef, Camden, and it's Camden Jr. We have two Camdens. Camden Sr. is first archer. So Eliana is first guardian. She is an archer, but she has the rank of first guardian. So Camden has the rank of first archer. And his son is a chef. And he is a partner in this restaurant with Marvin. Marvin needed to have a partner. So many people come here to eat, and they just love this restaurant. And we thought we were going to have this restaurant look at the reservoir. There's actually a reservoir in this mountain behind here, but it was too complicated, and it was too complicated to do. So we decided to leave it in the traditional Lady Shatana style and instead give him a little outside, little eatery area here. And this is the stairwell for this area of the ruins. And in this stairwell, he has a little place where people can sit out away from the restaurant and actually eat. And it has a little grassy area, so it kind of looks cute in that way. What this is actually within the ruins mountains right here. Upstairs from here is the guard tower that Aaron built specifically to open up this area. And this is now Yuritsa's guard tower. There are three or two. There are there are three guard towers in this area, and all of them are built specifically to hide, hold on. I hope that wasn't in your ear. They're specifically to hide in the jungle, so that they cannot be picked out at night by the skeleton communities that live on the mainland here. So the wolf's head, the skeletons are happy to see their wolf's head back. Apparently many years, centuries ago, the skeletons had a wolf's head on this island, and it fell into ruin, and because skeletons don't build anything, and so it came down. And but we rebuilt it, and they're happy to see it. But these guard towers that are here sort of melt into the mountain and melt into the jungle, so it doesn't look like we're building an army on this coastline. This is a guard tower right here, and we'll look at that guard tower later. But we were up at Yuritsa's guard tower, which is the guard tower for the ruins. This is the ruins guard tower right here, and we do have housing in this area. So this is right down from the mall, and the mall is the ruins mall. There's Emmy. Emmy is one of our druids, and she's right there. And then over this way, we have a couple of houses in this area. One house upstairs here belongs to Mason and Kali, and they raised their boys in this house right here. But now their sons have their own families. And that sounds like someone's frustrated about something. And so they've moved out, but Kali and Mason still live in this house. I wonder what was on this shelf that's not there anymore in that piece right there that isn't there anymore. I'll have to take care of that later. This is their living room and their living area, but I know what this is. So this is another one of these things where these got messed up, and so I just have to fix them. The glass got messed up. It's modded glass, and when the crash happened, those things got damaged. Okay, so in this area, this is their bedrooms, and I really I love this. So this used to be one of their kids' bedrooms, but they've made it into a sitting room upstairs because it has that view. This one as well. And then the master bedroom is right here. Because of its location on the ruins, they don't have a balcony, but we did give them a window at this back place where there normally is a door that can go out to a balcony. But right here, because that tree is there and all, we just gave them a view outside. So this is Kali and Mason's house right here, and they have a house in the ruins. So see, this is the balcony right here, and there's no balcony up above, so they just have those windows, which turned out really nicely to put them in that location, which is different from this house, which is built on this floor. So why was this house built up? Because this jewelry store was there first, and so we built this house above the jewelry store in this location, and then this house was built in the facade the way it's supposed to be. So it has an entrance on the main floor, and then upstairs it is one of the rare ones of these houses that actually has the balcony that Lady Chaitanya intended for those doors. And so this is the balcony to this area, and this is the second floor of Marvin and who is he with? I think it's either Melina. Yes, it's Melina. Marvin and Melina live here, and we pushed out the back of their house to give Marvin this luxurious kitchen, and sure enough, these are backward. This is so cute. This is really so funny. All these got put in the wrong way because of some change that has been made in Minecraft that has caused the level 20 of these to be facing the wrong way. They'll probably fix it because 20 is very new. But when Vincentius Primus found that 20 was available, CurseForge puts up the latest mods, and so this is actually 20, Zaph. This I'm in 20 for this mod, but I haven't started a new town because I'm waiting for some other stabilities. So this is one of the houses. This is actually a family home in this area. And around the corner we have Courier, who has a post office right here. And this is Raven's Courier shop right here. And she has mailboxes and for the residents in this area. This is one of the other shops that got broken, and this is how they're broken. Let me come down here. I think you'll be able to see it. See where it says this block is missing its respective building? Start trying or repair. And it can't be repaired because if it's repaired, it will damage the house that we built upstairs as a part of this builder's shop. So rather than that, Spencer, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I needed to cough. Spencer, who worked out of this shop, is using Aaron's shop to finish some work that he's doing. And then Marin was using a shop. See, there's something missing right here. It's probably glass that's missing from this area, but we'll see. And so, which is fine. This will just be here like this. What this will be is Spencer's own private workshop as a builder. So he's got his own private workshop right here, which is fun. And he lives upstairs still with Demi. And Demi was raised in this house right here. Her parents are, I forget, Damon and Janet. Damon is one of the couriers and Janet owns the pottery. And they're waiting for special furniture to come in for their interior. And so that's why their house looks like that. Across the way, Yaz and Ariana, if I'm not mistaken, live here. Let me see if that's true. That is true. And this is their house. And they're another one of the people who actually has, this is their bedroom, who actually has a view of the outside. So we have given them windows to look out. Yaz, Zaph, I think I called you. I'm sorry, Zaph. Thanks for the stream. You go take a nap. Okay, you are welcome. It's nice to see you. Afgaristo, thank you for being here. And I want to say something. Antio, I'm going to say that. And Kali Nikta, because it's night where Zaph is and it's late. He's in Greece. And so I'm saying to him good night. I'm saying Kali Nikta, good night. And I'm saying Afgaristo, which is thank you. And I'm saying Antio, which is goodbye for now. And so take care and have a good night. And so we're going to continue the tour, Zaph's tour. These got damaged, these shades over top of these lights. So I'm going to fix this for a moment since we're looking at it. And we'll take this part out and we'll put these back. I think maybe all I have to do is put one of these back. No, it wants the whole thing. I have to fix it. There we go. Okay. So some of those pieces are still like that, and I just wanted to make sure that they got fixed, and there we go. So we're going to continue with our tour that we're doing because Zaph wanted me to put a tour out on YouTube, and so we'll continue with it. So there's Yaz coming home. Look, the moon's coming up. Isn't that beautiful? That's the east over there, and the moon is coming up. And upstairs from these houses, up these stairs, is a tavern. This is the third tavern. This is the final city that I will build in Minecolonies for that will have more than one tavern. That's been changed, so you can only have one tavern. And I'm saying that for people who are watching this later and think that you can have a whole bunch of taverns. You can't. It was only for a short period of time, apparently, that was the case, while they were working out some things. And so they worked them out, and they've decided that having all those taverns when you are playing a challenge. Oh, look, we've got a visitor. Whoa, it's Dr. Cat. And Dr. Cat is a Patreon donor of Minecolonies team on Patreon. And if you are at a certain level of being a donor, you get to have skin in the game. Skin in the game. You get your own skin included in the visitors. And you can visit other people's towns as a visitor. You show up. Isn't that cool? And so that is Dr. Cat. and he just happens to be visiting with the other visitors in this tavern right now, which is why I love taverns and why I usually have more than one in a town. I don't have citizens live here. This is only for tourists to live in these taverns, or if a citizen's house is being worked on and they don't have a place to live, like if I'm doing something, then they come and live in the here. What are you doing? Are you two trying to go out at the same time? Are the two of you trying to go out together? Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, and so the music went off. Yay! So this is the third tavern in this town, and it is the last town that will have more than one tavern. And so this tavern is supposed to be in the mountain, but it is on the side of the mountain and has amazing views. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to get a room here. We're going to go into one of the rooms right here, and this room also has these parts here that are broken. So let's fix these for a minute. Did I get it? I did not. Okay, let's take these out and we can put these pieces back. So that's in this room. Let me go to the other room and see, because I think that means that the glass is broken in this room also. So we'll take these out and we'll put in, whoops, new glass. I'm glad there wasn't any water behind there. So we'll put in new glass in that area and in this one. So let's see. Yeah, we have to take this out so I can put it in. Sorry, glass is breaking, but there we go. So this one's done. And so now we can go back to that room and we can have a nap, and we'll wake up in the morning so we can see how this looks in the daytime. So we're going to sleep here. Let's turn off the light and let's go to sleep. And there we go. And so it's next morning. It is, this is counting weird. I thought it started, this is journey map as opposed to zeros map. And I think it starts the day at 6 a.m. Instead of starting the day instead of doing real time. I might be able to change that clock, but I'm not going to do it during the tour. I'll have to see about it another time. So there is, now that is the third or fourth Nathan Reeves that we've gotten. Chris Reeves is in town because he came in as Nathan Reeves. Nathan has relatives who are trying to stay in this town, and so they disguise themselves as Nathan so that they think that I might see he wants a new start. I've come here from the Nether to start a new life. Should I let him stay? Let's see the stats. We'll have to change his name. Does he have anything that we need? He has creativity. I'm not going to be able to let him stay. His stats are too low. I'm sorry. Should I let him stay, Mr. Villager? He's saying he came here to start a new life. I don't see that usually. And I feel like I should have this relative of Nathan's stay. What are you saying, Mr. Villager? What do you say? Do you think I should? How much time does he have before he goes away? He has a week still. So let's see what Mr. Villager says. And then we have some other visitors over here. We've stopped accepting visitors because we have kids. But in a situation like that, I just feel, I mean, I don't usually look at them. Isn't that weird that he would be sitting here talking to Dr. Cat? I think he's using his influence. And look, Demi is coming up to serve food for them. So I think he's using his influence here. and I am going to accept this person. Let's come here and let's recruit them. Okay, so there he is. I'm going to have to change his name, and I think I have to do that at the town hall. So for now, he is just going to, let me just have him have a place. I'm going to have him stay at the town hall until we find him an actual house and see what he's going to do for a living and see what his name is, what his real name is. So let's come here and we'll have this Nathan be here. And there is Melina. Melina is the other chef for this tavern. So we did with this tavern, we laid a steampunk barracks restaurant over this tavern. And this allowed us to put in a restaurant in this tavern because I felt like it should have one. And so when we first put it in, we didn't know about tags, and to help the citizens find the seats, we actually pushed out these walls at the time and pushed out walls and made a little coffee area here for them. So there's a couple coffee areas in this restaurant for breakfast when breakfast is served. And then also we have this area over here, and upstairs, I think there's still a seat upstairs that Demi keeps coming to right here. And what is Mr. Cat is looking at this picture. I wonder if he's trying to figure out, I think he was trying to find the name of the author on that picture, the name of the artist who did that picture, and that's what he was looking at. And Nathan is using one of the rooms because he's staying here. So he's getting moved into a room. And Melina and Demi are the owners here of the restaurant, and they're serving people breakfast during this time of day. Yes, so there was something about Zero's map that wasn't working for us, so we had to take it out, and we're using journey maps just for this iteration, just for Tana. This the island is the only one that's using it right now. This is Mason down here, and let's look at Mason for a minute, and let's cancel what he's looking for right now. He can request those things be brought to him from the warehouse again in this stream, and they'll be brought. This is his dock. He's on the, this is the east, and this is the north. And yes, so this is the northeastern, hold on. This is the northeastern part of the island, and Mason is here. Also, this is where Jalen moved when Chase decided that he did not want to be a builder anymore, and he wanted to be a miner after he studied, did some research, and he decided to be a miner. This is our other it is Jason. I was right. So Jason is our industrial concrete mixer, and he has this concrete factory on the waterfront, on the northern waterfront here. And this is his little factory. And across from Nathan's factory, Nathan also has a dock where the river runners can come here and they can load up glass and take it to the other dock. So his the glass that he makes can be transferred to the main warehouse from this dock, and also onto ships to be exported using this river runner right here. And I believe that is Vincentius Primus turning in his vampire self. He is going, he is going to sleep late for a vampire, but he is going to sleep. It's still daytime here where I am. Hold on a sec. It means that he will wake up in the night, and like good vampires do. So across, also using this dock, is the stonemason Jalen, who is up the hill here. This is her new shop. So, and she used to have the shop in the Downs, but when Chase got his new mine, Jalen decided she didn't want a shop underground. She's been underground for many years. She came to this island to live, to have the island life. And so she wanted an island shop. And so this shop was built for her. And she can work outside and she loves it. So this is her new shop, her new level 5 masonry, and she uses this dock down here and this rail to get her merchandise out to this river runner, and the river runner takes it around to our main dock, and it goes out for export. So that is this area of town. And now we talked about the Wolf's Head, and let me rise up here and we'll show this area. So this is the northern side of the island right here, and this is the eastern side. So when the river runner, like that little ship, is the only ones that can cross over this sand barge right here. They're light enough and small enough. Hold on. To cross over this sand barge right there. And when they cross over, they can follow the river along here. This is our island right here. This is another island that that is a neighboring island. And then you can see the docks right there, because you see the steampunk, and you can see the crag right here, and all of that is a part of this where the river runners can come. The fisher ship comes up here too when they try and catch some of their fish that they sell. So the sun is setting in the west right there. And while we're here, we'll be able to see what Emiliano's restaurant. Emiliano has a restaurant in the cliffs, and we'll see what that looks like at night when Emiliano's restaurant is open, and we can look right here. And there it is, lit up on the coastline. Right there is Emiliano's restaurant. You can also see the underwater guard tower lit up. It's in the rock right here. You can also see right here the underwater airlock for the MERS to come up to this lock right here and go inside. And what's down here, this is actually a athletic facility. So this is an athletic center for the island, but because it in the process of being built, because it is being built from a underwater base, archery is the template for this athletic center. It looks military, and until it is finished being built, it has those military bones. So we wanted to put that facility underwater so that it wouldn't look like we had this huge weapons training center. It actually isn't. It's meant to be a fitness place. Yes, we do have our archers trained there, but that's all we have, our archers. We don't have knights. We do have druids, but they're for the town. They are not an army. So let me go back Actually, I don't need to. I'm just going to stay here. So this is the last section of town. And this section was built after this section was done right here. And let's go here. This is the graveyard. And this graveyard is right across from a temple. This is a skeleton temple right here. This temple is not desecrated. I'm going to have to put down these lanterns because I can't get a torch to stay lit in my hand. I think that is something from 20, that you can't walk around with a torch, with a lit torch. Why that is, why they changed that, I have no idea. But this is 20 that I'm in, and you cannot have a lit torch and walk around. So I'm just going to light up this temple just for a moment. This temple does not have any lights in it ordinarily because skeletons still come here to pay their respects to their ancestors. This is an undesecrated tomb. As you can see, it still has sacred scrolls in it, and it still has their gold, and their remains are in here. So we do not keep this lit because skeletons do come here. And so I'm just lit it up so that you could see it for this tour. So we're going to turn out all the lights. So when this was discovered on the island, the university decided to build a special library in the area specifically to discover all of the manuscripts they found in that skeleton tomb. And this is the library. This is the Temple Library, the university extension. And this library has a special vault where all of those skeleton manuscripts are kept in this vault because they're so precious and we don't want anything to happen to them. We have to return them to the skeletons after we finish our studies. And so they're being preserved here. And so this is why this library was built here, to house those manuscripts. Now, kids come here. Kids have, when Thalia, who is our teacher, has children, being educated at her school, she brings them on a tour here, and they hear stories about skeletons and zombies and enders and the nether and all of that, so that they're not afraid of it. They learn about those things so that they're not afraid, and they learn why they don't have those raids. Why they don't have raids, because of the treaty that the mermaids made with the skeletons and witches and enders, so they don't come to this island. So this guard tower here is one of two guard towers on the southern border. This is the mainland. The skeleton mainland here. And when you stand here, you can't really see these two guard towers. I mean, they know we have them, but you can't, it's not like in your face. So the skeletons don't feel like we're amassing some army. We've made these very, very incognito here. What was that?
Yes.
A truck?
UPS.
UPS. Are they here? Are they stopping here?
Looks like.
Oh, okay. So, yep, that's UPS and making the announcement. There's something downstairs. Okay, so I'll get it in a little bit. This is, so we have the guard tower that's in the center of town, which is barely recognizable as a guard tower. It's right here. And then we have these two that are on the coast specifically to protect in case of breach of the treaty. And we have one guard tower that is right here. This is Lily's guard tower. She's one of the druids, and this is her guard tower right here. These are dark oak guard towers. And then we have Camden, who is first archer, and this is his guard tower right here. Now, because his guard tower was right here, we were able to give Queen and Sergio a little patio area right back here. Queen and Sergio's house is one of the coastal houses here. This is their house right here, and this was a very fun house to do. I know they're home and sleeping, so I don't want to go into their bedroom and all. We can come back here and look at this another time. If we want, why don't we go up to Camden's and we'll nap there for a minute. I'll use my my sleeping bag, and I'll take a nap in his shop, in his guard tower. So there's his bed, but I'm just going to, let's see, do I have one in my hand? I do. I'm just going to camp out right here for a moment. I'm going to continue beyond the time, which is what I did yesterday. Yesterday, it took 4 hours and 12 minutes to go through the whole city. It's going to take a little less time today. I'm not doing a history so much as I'm just showing all the beautiful buildings that we have here. Huh?
You're still online, right?
I hope so. Mr. Villager, am I still online? I think I am. Zaph left because it's very late where he is, but Mr. Villager's still here. If you're wondering why Mixasa is not here, there is a competition going on in the on Minecolonies Patreon server, and I think that Mixasa and Matlam want to be a part of the competition. And so they are probably involved in that. They're also building their own, they're building a new style. Mixasa and Matlam built the underwater style, and they're working really hard on their own style. And when I'm not doing their style, I imagine that they're taking the time to do their own style. It's been such an honor actually having Mixasa and Matlam visit my stream, and I really appreciate it. And so I understand completely when they have to work on their own stuff. So hold on here for a second. That's a good question. I don't know, Vincentius. Vincentius was saying, am I still streaming? And I hope so. Sometimes Mr. Villager has to go away, and I think he has. Hold on. And Zaph, it's very late where Zaph is, and he works. And he had some dental work done, so I think he's exhausted by that. Bless you. And that was either that was Queen. Queen just sneezed. This is Queen's dice shop right here. She is partners with Sergio, and it was their house that we were looking at, which is located right down here on the coast. They have a beautiful view, but the reason they're here is because Sergio Mixasa. Hi. Yes, I thought so. Oh, you're working on a new style, on the barracks for the new style. Cool. Well, bienvenue, welcome, and I appreciate. Thank you, and merci beaucoup. And yes, they're working on a new style, and so it's good. I can't wait to see it. Hold on for a sec. And I'm really looking forward to 20. We'll work on some of the new styles and incorporate them when they're available. And so, yeah. So here we are This is Queen and Sergio's house right here. It's one of the Shire houses. And we found out that they were off of Camden's place right here. And since this little sandy area was here, we decided to give them a back door, an actual back door to one of the bedrooms, their bedroom. I'll do some more work on this bedroom. I haven't really done anything here. I think they're waiting for furniture to come in for that room. But their other rooms are all finished. This room's finished here. Their living areas are finished. And then downstairs, where they had their son's a room, this downstairs area is finished. And this used to be their son's bedroom, and they're going to refurnish it now that their son is living in his own place. And so that's why the walls look the way it does, and they're waiting for some furnishings to come in. So this is their house on the coastline, and up above them is Prasad and Natalie's house. And Prasad and Natalie are living in one of the tree houses at the coastline, and they're also waiting for furniture for their house. And oh, thank you. I was going to go do it. That was very sweet. Vincentius Primus got up to go see what the UPS was, and it was okay.
Yes.
Okay. My sister sometimes has to order medicines. She has to order medicines, and I'm saying this as a part of this stream because the United States of America does not take care of its veterans. And so they do not provide enough of what she needs, and sometimes she has to actually order them herself so that she stays well. And it has a lot of the doctors. Her doctor at the Veterans Center is a very good doctor and is excellent. And it's not the doctor's fault. It's actually the government. It's actually government that is saying that they spend too much money on veterans. And so, unfortunately, that happens. I'm amazed that anyone wants to fight for this country, for the way they treat veterans. And that's what I have to say for all these people who claim to be so patriotic and yet don't want to pay for the veterans to get care or for children to get food. And sorry about that, but I'm ranting right at this moment. So anyway, let's go back to the wolf's head that I left. This is Spencer using Aaron's workshop to build Ray's place, Ray's farm, Ray Sori's farm, and he needs something, but we are doing a tour, and I promise I will come back in Twitch and I will make sure that he gets all the things that he needs. And so right now, we're going to go downstairs here, and I'm going to go down right here, and we're going to go back into the wolf's head. So what I was explaining was that we built this frontier guard tower. We finally had to build Case's guard tower right here on the frontier in the jungle. Go ahead, Case. Go ahead. I'll just come in after you. This is one of the tallest guard towers that exists at the time. Currently, this is Frontier, and it is huge. It is so tall. You see how tall it is, and it is really beautiful. And so we put it in the jungle so that we could build the wolf's head right here. Now, we thought originally that we were going to build what the skeletons had here. See this coastline here? They originally had a sphinx here, and what they had was this entire front here was the body of a wolf, and this was the head. But we, our people, the people on the island, did not want that. They just wanted the head. And so this is all that we built here. And the skeletons were fine with that. Hold on for a sec. And so this wolf's head was placed here. This is the nether mine entrance for the Nordic style, and this is where Charity is our nether miner, and she's not here right now. She's probably in the mine on the other side, making some arrangements for things to be supplied from the nether for this island. So what happens is a nether miner can supply nether materials without going into the nether. It was the best way to take care of the nether miner, and I think it's a really cool idea. So at certain levels, they can provide certain things that come from a nether mine, and which works really nicely. Hold on a sec. And so that is what we put here. Now, when we knew we were going to put this mine here, we figured that this mine needed to have some what would you call it? Some pieces. So for instance, this is a mine. Where do all the ores go? Where does all the stuff that comes out of the nether go? So that's when we started building into this cliff. We began building support for the nether mine. And this is Emiliano's restaurant. This was the restaurant we saw from the outside, and this is what it looks like on the inside. This restaurant is actually inside the mountain, and on the part that can see the water, we actually put windows. We saved the windows on this part, made them bigger actually on this side of this build, and the windows that were against the mountain, we actually just made them into these beautiful screens, these lighting screens, but upstairs and downstairs here. So this is the water side where they have these beautiful views, and then this is where we have these light screens for the fact that there were windows in this build. And this bar was here, and we just modified it. We just made it a we just modified some of the furniture upstairs to give because we could, just because we can, as Corrales would say, just because we can. So we did that and changed the carpet in some of these areas, and so this is the restaurant that Emiliano has. Now, this is a very fancy restaurant that Emiliano wanted, but he also wanted to care for the workers during the day. So Emiliano and Zio, his partner chef, opened this little cafe stand where the workers come during the day and they can get drinks and lunch and all of that in this. If they don't want to have a fancy sit-down lunch, they can grab lunch or grab drinks from this little restaurant, this little market stand right here. And this is one of the middle levels. This middle level has some housing. We thought we were going to have more family housing in this area. We don't at this time, but we'll see what happens later. This house right here is where Peyton and Joe live. Peyton is the doctor in the Wolf's Head, and this is a house that we built for them. And Joe is the mechanic that used to be on the docks, and then we had Joe move since Peyton was here. Joe decided that he wanted to have a different shop. I know they're asleep. I can't go in their room right now. I should actually go somewhere and take a nap. Should I take a nap in their living room? Why don't I use their couch? And why don't I come here? And I'm just going to sleep on their couch for a minute. So I'm going to get up here and I'm going to go to sleep. Let's see if I can. It's, oh, ooh, I can't anymore. Interesting. I used to could sleep on couches, but I can't. I will just sleep beside it. Fascinating. Yeah, so there we are. So they're going to go to work. I'm going to get out of their way. And there they go. That was Peyton running off to her clinic, and there's Joe. Joe's going down to his new mechanics shop. We have two mechanics. So because of, hold on. Because sorry about that. I keep disappearing because my throat is bothering me and I don't want to cough in your ear. I'm going to have to take care of it when I get done with this stream. And so when Peyton was offered the clinic in the Wolf's Head, this is Emiliano's home right here. He's waiting for furniture to come in, so his home is still a little bare. Peyton, there's Zio. Zio's the other chef with Emiliano. Peyton was offered this clinic. This is the Wolf's Head Clinic here. And when she was offered this clinic, Joe decided that it was too good of an opportunity for her to turn down. And he decided that he would run the new mechanics shop. He would have it built to his specification. So this is the mechanic shop that Joe wanted, with this table here where he and Peyton could have meals at lunchtime, right at this table outside his shop in this hallway here. And this is his shop. So it's different from the one at the docks. And this is the one that he wanted. And then this is her clinic over here, and it's different from the one that Anya has on the docks. It has kind of the same setup, but including some of the decorations. Hold on. I'm gonna have to take a second. I'll be right back. Hold on for a second. and I am back. I had to get something for my throat. Water doesn't help, tea doesn't help, so I had to get something that would actually help so that I could continue, because this is the tour that I'm doing, and I know it's running long. It's actually it's going to run just a little bit long, but I would like to have a full tour of this island as a record of the island. And so I've only just gotten to the Wolf's Head, and it's pretty big. So, whoops, somebody's coming to the hospital. It's Yuritsa, and she's not in uniform. She's actually off. She just came to pick up some medicine. Interesting. So she came to pick up some medicine from Peyton. Hi, Peyton. And so there she is, and we'll just have her. Damon's one of our couriers. There's Zane. And these couriers belong to the Wolf's Head warehouse. So we have all these things here for the Wolf's Head. So in case there's trouble with the nether mine, this guard tower is here. This druid is actually Reed. We have two Reeds, and this is one of them, Reed Just. And Reed's family is actually at the underwater facility, at the dead, in the dead waters, in the Dead Sea. Hold on. And it's so interesting because Reed was too young to go with them. Reed knew that they had gotten work that Russell had gotten work, and Jillian was still in university. And so Jillian and Russell arranged for Reed to be raised here. And Reed was fine because he knew that that was a good opportunity for the two of them. And so he was raised here. And ironically, he ended up being in the underwater guard tower that we have here, just like his brother. Just like his brother is in the underwater facility, and just like his sister is the teacher in the underwater facility. So it was just really, really neat that it just worked out that he got to be a druid and to have the underwater experience that he would have had if he had gone with his brother, older brother and sister. So he is the druid in this area. There are three druids in this area. We'll see the others in just a moment. So this is an underwater base guard tower that we're using underwater. This is underwater. That's water. And this is for me. This is to be able to get out, and it is raining. And so this is what the athletic facility looks like from the outside underwater. And that is it. And it has some hallways that lead to areas so that the people who live in the city and the guardians can come and use this facility. Spencer is working on this facility. He will finish it. I said Spencer was working on the farm. He's not. He's working on this facility. He's not working on the farm. Jordan's working on the farm for Ray. Spencer's actually working on that. That will probably be one of the last things that Spencer works on, and then he will go into research and teaching at the university. And let's come here. This is the warehouse for the Wolf's Head, and this is the smaller fortress warehouse, which we built as a second warehouse on this island. And it seems to be working okay. They do come here. See, there's Damon. He's coming, and he's getting stuff for the people. And Yeah, what do you need? What are you asking for? Oh, you want that. Okay. I'll have to do that another time for him. He is asking for one of the quests that happens with couriers in mine colonies is that you can do things for the people, and then they'll give you a payment. They'll give you a reward. And so that's what that is. But right now, we have a couple buildings here that were built here specifically because we found the research for these buildings. These are from the City of Witches. This is what a mine looked like in the City of Witches hundreds and hundreds of years ago when witches had cities. This is a mine that has been created from the blueprints from those cities. And so this is where the miner goes down into the mine, and this is what this mine looks like. It is pretty amazing. And all of these levels are levels that the miner uses. I can't get to the core from here, which is an interesting choice for these for Crimson Keep. But in Crimson Keep, the player can't get to the core from the ladder area. They would have to go down into the core, and I don't think there's a way for them to do it in this mine. See, the core is not open. So when someone wants to see what's going on in the mine, they have to use the ladder that the miner uses to go down. And so that is this mine right here, and it is a Crimson Keep, which is what I call the City of Witches. And up here across, we have the Crimson Keep ores smeltery, and this smeltery is for the nether materials that are brought back from the wolf's head. They're stored here, they're processed here, and then they are given to the couriers to divide up between the two warehouses. If there's an overflow, it's stored in this warehouse here. And so this is the downstairs of the ores smeltery. The ores smeltery in Crimson Keep has an upstairs. We don't have an opening for an upstairs here, so we built a special archaeology stairwell to come up to the opening for this building, because there's a blacksmith that is included in the building where the smelter is in Crimson Keep. So this is a dual purpose building, and this blacksmith has to be built separately. It's a separate insert into this building. And this is Lachlan up here. This is his he's an industrial blacksmith who works especially with ores that come out of the nether. Now, I'm saying that in my story. None of this actually is a part of the Minecolonies story, but this is my story about how I'm using these Minecolonies buildings to tell the story of this town. So in actuality, it's just a blacksmith and an ore smeltery that I've built in this area, and they work like any other blacksmith and ore smeltery. But in this town, this specific blacksmith and ore smelter work for this mine right here and for the nether mine. So Chase, when he went back, when he stopped building, he was teaching and doing research, and he found the the blueprints for this mine, and he just loved it, and he wanted to not only build the mine, but he wanted to run the mine. So he ended up studying stone, and he ended up deciding that he was going to run this mine, our builder Chase. And so that's what he does. There's Justice, who is the guardian from the crag guard tower, and she is walking around here, probably seeing. So now this is the Wolf's Head Cliffs where these buildings are. At the back of this corridor is housing for people who work in this area, and also for people who work in the ruins, because you saw there was only 2 houses in that area. So most of the people live in the Wolf's Head, and this is a covenstead. Now, these covensteads were first discovered in Seabridge, in the YouTube town, that which is the underwater facility that is experiment with land people living underwater with mermaid people. And so when they discovered these, then they told Mni Island's researchers about these buildings, and they found blueprints also for these covensteads. So the covensteads at Seabridge are named Aeon and Da, and the covensteads here are Tree, and the other one is, and I have a feeling because this is Celtic language numbers, that this 3 is probably pronounced Shri, and that the other Celtic number for 4 that's on this covenstead down here is probably pronounced Shishir or something like that. It's Seethier is the way it's spelt, but it's Celtic, so it might be Shishir. I'd have to go and check. Uh-oh, it is thunderstorming. Quickly. Oh, I know where I can go. Let's sneak in here. Now, this was the secret barracks that we had to build. I'm going to go to sleep here because you can't have an archery building without a barracks. So since we had to build barracks, we built an underground barracks using Arcology's barracks right here. And that allowed us to build the archery building that we're using as an athletic facility. We did not want a barracks, but the people in the town actually are a little bit relieved that in an emergency, they actually have a facility that has weapons and where they can train and strategize if they need to, if something were to happen and the peace was destroyed. So that is where that is located. It's underground. Do the skeletons know? Of course they know. I mean, do we know that Russia and other countries have defensive measures? Of course we do. So they know we have them. They just object to them being showy. And so we respect them, and so we do that. This is the athletic center, and Zane and Levi are our athletic specialists, and they are right now. Did I go to sleep? I did. So this is the next day. So they are practicing. This is Zane right here. Hi, Zane. And that is Levi. And they are the athletic specialists, and this is a level 3. Yeah, so they're going to build it up to a level 5. After it's a level 5, we're going to trade out the war paint on this building and make it some other color so that the skeletons. So what happens is the same thing that happens in politics everywhere. I don't want anyone threatening the current royals that rule over the skeleton kingdom, because they are the ones we have the treaty with. And if someone can come up and say, look, they've allowed these land people to build to build an army, people might believe it the way people believe things, and that would not be good. There's Reed. Hi, Reed. So Reed is probably visiting Rory. This is Rory's guard station right here. Rory is one of the druids, the 3 druids that are here. And 2 of the druids have stations in the Covensteads. And this Covenstead building has a cavern-style residence at the back of it. And we took this cavern-style residence and made it look like a Covenstead residence because it's attached to the Covenstead right there at the end of their hallway. And so we completely redid this. We can't have the balcony here, so we just made a little table area right here. Is this light on? It is. So that to take the place of the entryway that used to be there. And I think they're still waiting for some furnishings in some of these rooms, although it looks pretty good up here. But I think they're still waiting for some things. And so this is what the place looks like right now. The downstairs is finished, though. This is the downstairs with their kitchen. Now, we didn't push out too far. We only pushed back 1 in this kitchen because there are reservoirs in this mountain. And so we didn't want to hit one of the water reservoirs. A lot of these apartments here have been built out as couples apartments, where couples come after they've raised their kids. This is Kaysen and Raven's apartment here. Their kids are grown up. It's hard for you to see, so I'm going to use a lantern again. I have a lantern in my hand. I'm just going to place it down so that you can see this room for a minute. So their kids are grown up, and they are living in a couple's apartment in the Covenstead. We've pushed out the walls of the original apartments. Here's another one that's pushed out. And then we put in a bedroom, and this bedroom is Chase and Jalen's bedroom right here. And they've got closets in the back, and these closets, of course, have the damage. I'll fix them another time. I'm not going to stop and do that right now. Their closets got broken, but it's okay. At least they're still there. At least this place is still here. And that's one of the things. So this is another one of the apartments that was built out. And this is Jordan. Jordan doesn't have anything to do right now. Jordan. Oh, I see. You're waiting until you get those pieces that you need. Okay, so he's home until he gets those pieces. And so that's what's going on there. We're going to go down to the other Covenstead that we have built under here and see, and that's where Emmeline is our newest and last guardian. She just started. She's one of the kids, and she lives here. And I think, nope, not in this one. She lives in the one where across here. I think this is hers. Let me check and see. Yes, this is her guard tower right here, and she's assigned to this Covenstead. And so the 3 of the guardians, Rory, Reed, and Emmy, not Emmeline, Emmy, work in this area, and this is their This is the area that they're responsible for. I mean, you can see them in other parts of the town, but this is where they come. And so this is one of the last areas that we have been working on, the Wolf's Head area. And I think I have just shown you the entire island. I think I have shown you everything on the island. So I'm going to rise up here and let you see it. This is the eastern, this is the western coast. That's okay, Mr. Villager. Welcome back. Welcome back. I kind of figured that. You were. You just missed the last of the tour of the Wolf's Head, and this one's going to stay up, and so you'll be able to go and look at it anytime you want. And I was showing everyone the island now from the top view. I think I didn't show people Orion's place right here. Orion is the alchemist. We have two alchemists, and Orion is the one that is behind Queen's shop and behind the library right here. If we go back through these trees here, we can hear Orion working. And see these mushrooms? There he is. There's Orion right there. There he is. And this is the Shire alchemist, and this is where he's working. It is mostly outside. They have these wagons right here. Isn't this amazing? I can't tell you how much I love this. Right here. And this part is where he is growing. He's actually growing, and he's actually harvested some of this netherwort in this area that he was growing, and he is making mistletoe. I'm going to have to do something about that mistletoe construction because there's so much of it. It really is way more than one colony can use. And so we'll probably have to export it to other cities. So this is his tent area here. And that is what's going on. Yeah, so that's what he's doing. And so, yeah, so that's, we didn't show his area. He's apparently having some friends come over and visit him. So he has some lunch going on right here. And they could be used in frontier style. Yeah, but this is actually Shire. This is actually Shire's alchemist. And our other alchemist is a kid who grew up in this area. So when Prasad and Natalie's child was little, she grew up in this house right here. And there's Prasad going home. It's nighttime. And she used to play. She used to go over and play around where Orion is. And so she loved the alchemy shop. And let's see, he had a lot of school exams. Oh, wow. Matlam, Mixasa is saying that Matlam had a lot of school exams this week. Wow. So yeah, so that probably is infringing on how much they can work on the building, the new buildings that they're doing. But let's go over. So when Leia grew up, Leia wanted to be an alchemist too, and so she was studying. So when Reed finished his studies, Leia was just ready to begin studying to be an alchemist. And so she took over the alchemy shop that is in the Downs, which is right here. She took over this shop, I believe. and it's nighttime, so no one's here. So this is Leia's shop, and this is an arcology alchemist, and this is her little area here. And but Reed met her, the Reed who is the doctor. He met her when he had to train her to take over the shop, and they fell in love, and they are now a couple, and they have a kid, and their kid moved out recently and has his own apartment right now, but they still, Reed and Leia, Leia, live in the treehouse district up here. And they moved into the house that Reed was raised in. He was raised by his parents, and it's this house that's right near where his mother, his mother, has her restaurant. And so Lorelei has this little granny house right here, which is right on the edge of her house that she had with her partner, who was Aurelia, who's gone. That's the doctor who's gone. And Reed moved in. Reed lived here, and now and raised his kid here with Leia. And now Leia and Reed live here with Aurelia living behind them. And down below where they live, Catalea and Drew. Catalea is Aurelia's partner chef, and Drew is the Meadows manager, and that's how they met. And so they live in this house down here. And I don't think we've done anything with this house as yet. No, they're still waiting on furnishings to come in for their house. So yeah, so that's two of the houses that I think I didn't actually look at. I didn't show people. Speaking of Ray, who is one of the kids, he's sick in the hospital. And I hope I went into this hospital. I think I did go into the hospital. So I think I'm actually done. I think that is the entire island. And if you would like to see this island, I'm still streaming for now. I'm still streaming this island for now on Twitch because Minecolonies team is doing the test, I think, of level 20 with their new server, their new Patreon server, where if you want to play with the developers, you still have time to join. It's still only the first week of the competition. And so if you are a patron, you are eligible to go in and join them on the server. You have to read the directions, read the instructions. It's a competition, and it's a special competition, and they'll tell you all about it on their stream, on Minecolonies team's stream in Twitch, and they're streaming the competition as well as their builds. So I highly recommend that. I have a stream on Twitch, and I'm going to continue to work on this city until it's time to move over to 20. And when it is, then I will actually, this city will then be archived. And by archive, I mean the city will still exist. It still exists. And they just won't have an ambassador anymore. And so, Mr. Villager, you would like to work on Mni Island and stay? If you lost, get to work there in time, would participate in the competition. You would easily win? Well, that would be interesting to see. That definitely would. You would have to have friends be on the competition with you. What I've found is that when Minecolonies team has the competitions, you really need to have someone work with you. It's fun to have someone else work with you. I've done it once, and Vincentius Primus did it with me. We started late, so we didn't get a lot done, but we were still able to be in it. And you could also play on the server if you don't do even if you don't do the competition. Thank you, Mixasa. So you can, if you want anyone who's listening, if you don't want to do the competition, you can still play in the Minecolonies team server. You can still play on it and not be a part of the competition, and it's fun. So you can do that if you want. And so I'm just telling everybody about this. I hope you enjoyed this. This is my Twitch stream city, and I wanted to document it because if you know anything about Twitch, you actually cannot save streams unless you record them. And I am not doing that. I don't have time to do that. So what I do is I make a record on YouTube of the Twitch cities. And if you go out on my YouTube, Monster to Mermaid, I have 2 different channels. You can go out and you can see all my past cities there. And that is the closest thing I'm going to do to an advertisement. I think you noticed that I never say like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. If you're going to do it, do it. I'm not going to keep reminding you. I hate when they do that. And so I don't do it on mine. But I do have other channels. And if you're interested, yeah, go right ahead. And so right now, I'm going to say goodbye. I have been on for 3 hours and 46 minutes doing this tour, and I hope you saw a lot, and I hope you enjoyed it. And you're the only one you know that doesn't have a PC at home, or that has a PC at home? Oh, but you can still play by yourself, Mr. Villager. You can play by yourself. Other people do it. I think that it's more fun if you go in with other people, but you don't have to. So don't worry about that. I was just saying that because it seems like that there's so much to do that if there's someone else with you, it helps. But you can do it by yourself. You definitely can. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you enjoyed the tour, Mixasa. Thank you so much for being here. And tell Matt Lom hi for me. And as always, thank you for being in chat. Merci beaucoup. Obrigado, Mr. Villager. Thank you for being here. And I said Afgaristo to Zaph earlier when he was here. He went to sleep. He had a long day. And everyone else, thank you for being here. And if you're watching this after the stream, I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy your games. And enjoy watching all the other gamers. And I'm so glad that this tour actually worked. And so, bye for now, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye for now. I'm going to play music. I hear music. Thanks for watching.